episode 490 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for May 10th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's been going on, Dominic?
And yeah, we missed a week because my computer was acting up, and so finally got that taken care of. Unfortunately, the graphics card was not good, so that sucks. Um, yeah, it sucks because now I had to go back to a 970, and I can't play these games as well anymore. Um, so now I just hate the world. I hate the world. I'm just angry.
You hear that, NVIDIA? Sponsor us. Send us your latest and greatest.
Yeah, exactly. Or the one that's about to come out was like 90,000 something, or is that an AMD one? I don't know. It's something that's supposed to be coming out. That's really big. That somebody said like, "Hey, I'm just gonna wait to get that one."
Wait to get that one and spend $10,000 on it.
Yeah, I mean they have money apparently, so I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." Um, so yeah, so like, what's been going on? So in sports, Orioles, man, they're one of the worst teams. They did win as of this podcast yesterday after a 5-game losing streak, but there's only like 3 teams behind them as far as record wise. That's not good. Last time I looked, so they're either tied now with some teams maybe, because I think there were a few teams who had 14 wins now. Unless they won, um, then they're still in the lead, of course, but or they're tied with them. I don't know, but like. The worst team is the Colorado Rockies, who I believe have only won 6 games. They're like 6-32 because I think they lost yesterday too. Yeah, man. I thought they had, for some reason I kept thinking they won 10 at least. I was like, oh, everybody won double digits, but nah, I must have been another team I was looking at. Yeah, but it was the White Sox probably. Yeah, because the White Sox won 11 games. But yeah, Colorado is 6-32. Right now they're playing San Diego, who's like one of the best teams record-wise in the league. Like Dodgers are only above them because they played more games. They played 2 more games than them. And well, yeah, because they played over in Japan. The Mets were like the best team for a bit. I guess they must have lost a couple, but they're 25-14. Like Dodgers are 26-13. San Diego's 24-13. Like those are the top teams right there. You got San Francisco at 24-15. Like these are all in a National League teams, and then 3 of them are in the National League West, which is great. And you know what? I guess it's like they're like, yo, we got the Dodgers. Look at them. They're doing what the Orioles and other teams that division. Well, Boston usually does. I guess Boston. I don't know what their game plan is right now. What's going on in Boston? They did spend some money though, but those teams are doing what teams in the American League East should be doing. Which, like I said, Boston was one of those teams that was like the Yankees spending money. You gotta go spend money too. You gotta go get guys. Like, I mean, unless you just get lucky, like you got people who come up really good, but even still, it's like, dude, like it just makes it not fair and fun. So I say I give it to them that those guys are competing. I mean, Arizona even did. They picked the pitcher up that we had. Like he's over there. And they beat them, the Dodgers, the first game of the series, but the Dodgers, man, it was a hell of a game. 14-11 that game was, but it was like they came back, like, well, Arizona came back and then they came back. Like, darn, that was a high scoring game, but the other teams are competing against them. So, I mean, that makes it like more interesting. It's not just them, oh, they're just dominating. But like I said, baseball, it's a marathon. So the whole thing is that, yeah, you get all these stars and you get enough of them too. Like it's because people get injured, but if you get a whole bunch of stars, then some not usually all of them will get injured. There's some unlucky things where like, oh man, a lot of people got injured, but you still have some people. You still have some bodies, and that's the thing is that, and because it's a marathon, that it's always good to spend money. Doesn't guarantee you a win, but it gives you the better shot of like getting to that postseason. And yeah, people always bring up, it's like, oh, well, look at this team. Like the Mets last year spent so much money, they didn't go. Yeah, that happens. It does happen. And like sometimes, because it does come down to sometimes the manager or chemistry or yeah, other factors come into play. But still, yeah, I mean, but still, you being able to pay and get the best players, it's still he's still got a better shot than most teams.
Mm.
I mean, people make all these excuses. I hate when people make the excuses because it's like those are obvious excuses that everybody knows. Like, why even mention them? Like, people they always say, like, well, just because you can buy them doesn't mean you can win. It's like, yeah, no, it don't. But what's your other choice? You're not going to do it if you can,
Yeah.
like that. That doesn't make any sense. You got the best chance of winning. Um, the like in the American League, I was looking. I think Detroit. They were Detroit. I'm sorry. Give it up to Detroit. They've been on a been winning some freaking games. They're 26-13. They were
Hmm.
like they were doing good, and darn, they must have been on a roll. Um, I mean, this team just 2 years ago was awful, and they were like with the Orioles, like
Yeah.
being awful those years too. And man, they have turned around while the Orioles gone backwards. But thing is, Detroit got better. They got pitchers. Lucky for them, because they did suck. They did be able to get a good pitcher. That's what I feel like. It sucks like the Orioles. We suck, but we couldn't get at least one ace, like out the draft. I mean, that's what it is with baseball. Even though you might get a number one person who's pitching, doesn't mean they're going to turn out that way. Um, there, you know. But it's like, darn man, that's like we did get some bats, but we just didn't get a pitcher. So you got to go out and get one. Detroit, they did both. They had a guy named Tariq Skubal, who's he won the Cy Young, and he's nice as shit. Um, I was like, really, a lot of people were talking about like them going at Detroit to get him, because it looked like Detroit, wasn't going, they weren't good, but now Detroit, they looking all right, so they're not going to be trading that dude. And I'm trying to see any other teams in the American League. I mean, what were the Yankees? The Yankees, yeah, they're 22-16. They're all right. Yeah, the American League is pretty much. If I mean, yeah, Cleveland at 23-15. Seattle, I think they were on like a winning streak, man. Like, well, at least winning series streak. They're 22-15. Yeah, but like the domination of the those West teams are over the National League. Like they were looking pretty good. Like Dodgers and San Diego, definitely up there. But yeah, but give it to Detroit, man. Like, yeah, I mean, yeah, root for them, man. Like, good for them. All right, oh yeah. But with the Orioles, yeah, I don't know. Like, we already knew about pitching being good, but the bats not hitting.
Mm.
That started last year, like around All Star break. That they were doing bad, and it seemed like it just carried over. So it probably has to be a shape up. I mean, a shake up. Other than that, you got hockey. The Nationals. I mean, that's the Nationals. The Capitals are in the second round, so that's good. And they tied the series 1-1. So I forget what the next game is. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow. I don't know how they do it when they go between cities. Sometimes they only do one day, but I don't know. I could just check real quick. Yep, it's today at 6. Playing the Hurricane, Carolina Hurricane. So
Mm.
yeah, rooting for them, rooting for those guys to do well. And the Wizards, yeah, they're not in the playoffs, so I mean, there ain't really much to talk about for basketball for me. But no, I've heard from my friends that it's been a good series, and they said like, man, this is one series you like. There's no LeBron, like all the big, like sort of like big, like those kind of stars on the end there is actually like really good players. I mean, Celtics are still there, and like as much as many of my friends probably look at the Celtics not as like the Lakers, and that's because in our lifetime the Celtics weren't winning. Like the Lakers are the most winning NBA team in our life. While Celtics have the history, They won the most in like history, but in our lifetime, it's been LA. It's been Showtime. So, um, so still, I'm still iffy because I'm like, the NBA still got the Celtics in there. They do have the Warriors in there, so they got Steph in them. Um, I really wish Houston would have beat them, like because this is it is it's something I would watch. But I told them I said, well they're like a few years too late because I've already
Yeah.
given up on the NBA. Like I'm sorry, like I would like this series. I would like these NBA playoffs years ago, but now I'm not. It's like I'm not going in that trap, and I fall for that trap. Sorry, I'll just miss out. Um, WNBA should be coming up. For some reason I kept thinking the ninth. It's actually the 17th or 16th. One of those days. They're doing preseason games though. I haven't watched any of those though, but I'm just waiting for the regular season. The the UFL football. I know DC had lost their second game of the season or the third. I forget. So I don't know who's number one now. I'll have to check that out probably later on. But yeah, that's pretty much it for sports. I mean, you had the NFL draft happen. I think we haven't done this since that happened, but I'm not an NFL draft guy.
No.
All I know is the whole thing was all about Shador Sanders and stuff, not getting picked first, even though I don't think he is a first round pick, but that was just the way the media did it. And yeah, it was a story there. So whatever. But yeah. All right. So wrestling, what's going on wrestling, man?
Yeah, so Backlash is tonight as of recording this. That's WWE's
Damn,
next
it just
pay-per-view.
feels like WrestleMania just happened.
I mean, it effectively did. I mean, it's probably within the last 4 weeks or so. That's just the WWE schedule. If it's not a pay-per-view, it's a big, this, that, or the other thing. And obviously this one's gonna be headlined by John Cena and Randy Orton. That match could be fine. We'll see. It could also be just absolute trash. But Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch should be really good. That's going to be for the women's WWE Intercontinental Championship. And then the one that I'm kind of like morbidly curious about is Pat McAfee versus Gunther. Like they had Gunther attack Michael Cole a couple of weeks ago after WrestleMania, and Pat jumped in and then got choked out. And now he's going to have a match. I'm really hoping it's just a means to write Pat off for a while to let him do whatever he's going to do and just make Gunther look like a killer again. Kind of his mystique was taken away by losing to Jey Uso and losing his title at WrestleMania. So hopefully this is a means to just make him like a monster threat again, while also keeping him away from Jay for a little bit to give that separation and give him a reason to not just immediately go back after that title he lost. In addition to that, you also have Dominic Mysterio versus Pentagon. That'll be fun. I don't know.
Pentagon.
Yeah, Penta is Pentagon Junior. He's Pentagon Dark. He's a luchador. He's gone by several names, but in WWE he is currently Penta. He's a really good luchador. He's a really good wrestler.
Okay. So he never takes his mask off.
He does not. Although, so for me, his prominence came with like Lucha Underground, and on that wrestling program, I wanted to just say show because it was very much, they had like produced stuff in a way that like a lot of wrestling shows don't, because they were taped. They weren't live shows, even though they had like an audience when they did the matches. There were a lot of times where him and his brother Phoenix would be in matches where it's like a death match or something like that, and their mask would be so torn that literally like their entire face is just hanging out of their mask.
Oh man, he killed his brother?
No, I'm trying to think if they actually fought at some point in time, but it's funny that you say that because there were definitely people that were literally.
Oh, you were saying they fought each other. You mean they fought other people?
I'm trying to think. I'm sure at some point they did, but the one I'm thinking of Like it was Mil Muertes who was like the big bad guy. He had a casket match, I think, with Rey Fenix. And then I'm trying to think of the matches that Pentagon had. He had one versus Vampiro, but I don't know if that's one of the ones where his mask got like super torn open. But yeah, those guys are not like in the traditional, at least American sense that we think of, where it's like, oh yeah, these guys never have their mask off. You know, their face is never exposed. Although I think it may be like the more Mexican traditional wrestling. I think that stuff happens a lot, honestly, where it's like, oh, this mask is just so tattered. You know, we're just supposed to pretend like we don't see what these guys look like, even though we kind of don't because they're usually also just covered in blood at the same time. But yeah, when Penta has this like walk that he does, it's almost like it's kind of like a mix of a Ric Flair strut with like, I don't know if you remember the La Parka, like Razor Ramon's like sideways walk with his hands out.
Oh,
He
okay.
kind of does that.
Yeah.
So they'll cut to him like backstage at the beginning of the show when he's like walking in with his suitcase and he's got like a suit on, but then he's got the mask on and then he just does the walk. Very entertaining guy. And then the other match you have on this card, Jacob Fatu versus LA Knight versus Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre for the United States Championship. That should be a lot of fun. I don't know who's going to come out of that victorious or anything. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it stays on Jacob Fatu. But when you have this many guys in there, it's almost like one of those things where it's like, oh, I could see Drew coming out of this winning, but he's not gonna pin Jacob Fatu. You know, he's gonna pin LA Knight or something like that. It's a good way to get a title off of somebody that you don't necessarily need a title on, but you don't want him taking a loss.
Hey, so where's Backlash taking place?
St. Louis, which is Randy Orton's hometown. So
okay,
that's kind of why we're getting that match as the headliner there. AEW is still trucking along. There's some good stuff there, but I haven't really been able to put a lot of time into watching it lately. So it's just been mainly following up, watching clips on Reddit and stuff like that. Don't have much in the way of things to talk about with them right now.
Okay. All right. So now we get to what we were watching. So I've been watching some more Andor. They've been putting like 3 episodes out a week. Mm-hmm. I want to say it's going to be 12 total. So this will be the last bunch. If they do that,
I think
do another
correct.
3 episodes. So it'd be funny if they just putting one.
I was gonna say that's when they start the weekly. They're like, we built this up for you, and now.
Yeah, they're gonna put like one. Yeah.
They're gonna put a.
It was good.
Out.
Apparently, like 8 was really like, man, it got really dark. That was like a really big pinnacle moment. Like you just knew something was going to happen, and the 8 episodes when that thing happened. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Yeah, I love the series. The series is
this is staying up there with season 1.
Oh yeah. Is that I'm gonna say I'm gonna say it might be better. I mean, I'm enjoying. Put like this.
Wow,
nice. I'm enjoying it more than season 1, and I really like season 1. Okay. So now if it's like better, if artistically whatever, I don't know. You have to ask those artsy fartsy guys. But they
critics.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it more. Like it's because I mean, not only just the action, but I mean the storytelling is good too, and like even like it has those episodes where it's not a whole lot of action, but it's definitely more action than it was in the first one, and that makes sense because the first one was really just him getting into the rebellion, being like recruited for it, and like he was fighting it, but then he just finally joins it, and this one he's in it, you know. Still trying to want to get out, but you know what happens. I mean, we've seen Rogue One, but yeah, so it's good. I mean, a little spoilery. The episode did end with him getting that robot, like at the very end. Though.
Okay.
Like, so I'm guessing we're going to see him these next 3 episodes, baby. This that robot.
They're like, we got to get him in the show to sell merch.
Oh, but seeing those robots like when they were just with the Empire, though, oh my God, that is scary. Because it's already scary. It's already scary looking like seeing
He's
tall, big
intimidating. Yeah.
Armatron
Lanky.
robots just walking, and then they strong as hell. Like they were just tossing people, like just hitting them, and there's just flying. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. I said, man, that's scary. But yeah, the show was good. And it just, like I said, for it to be part of the old Star Wars lore, it's like, oh, I mean, like, wow, this is definitely dark. It's like, this ain't the kind of black and white, kind of good versus evil thing that Star Wars has been known for. You got it where like some of the rebels, are doing questionable things. But in reality, you're like, yeah, in a real rebellion, that's most likely what happened. It's not black and white. I mean, the overall arcing thing is probably, well, all depends on, what side you're on, is black and white, but the things you're going to have to do to get shit done, you're going to have to make some questionable calls. Like, people are going to die that you knew. People are going to have to, because, like, the trust, like, and I get it, like, the whole thing with, like, trust, like, oh, man, this guy get caught, he's like he's a little nervous. Do I chance it that he'll get out of it, or he'll calm down, or I just kill him because I can't take that chance.
Right.
And it's like, man, you gotta make those decisions, and it's almost like you gotta have almost a black heart, or like just. I mean, you can tell yourself not to feel, but you're going to. Unless you just get used to it, and then you just come really dark. But it's like you need those type of people. You need people to make decisions like that, because at the end of the day, it's all about the greater good. It's all about the goal of being the empire. That's the goal. You're just an individual. Like, you might, like, I like what the guy was saying. Like, you may not see the end. Most likely he's like, I'm not going to see the end. I don't think I am going to see the end. But this whole thing is like, you go through it, and like,
you got to build a better future.
Yeah. And and I was like, yeah, man, that's exactly this. Yeah, and this is like, wow, this is what a real rebellion is. It's not a bunch of koala bears throwing rocks at the goddamn AT or at like I like to call it. Yeah. So I'm really enjoying that show. I know that Star Wars just came out with their like computer anime series, that new one called Tales of the Underworld, and that goes through like stuff for the Star Wars. They had one like it was called Tales of the fuck. If I was called, I don't know. I want to say Jedi or something along those lines. It was much. I think it's much like it wasn't as like the Dark Underworld. It was like something more lighter that came out years ago. Like it came out, I don't know, either 2022 or 2021 or something like that. I never watched that one. So yeah, I'm kind of want to go back to watch that one, because I heard this one's pretty good, and it has some characters like Ventress, who are always light, and like, because she actually lived through Clone Wars series.
Of course she did.
Yeah, and she yeah. I mean, I thought, and then they really made a character like a whole lot deeper than what it is. And I mean, come on, man, she was sexy, man. That is a sexy skeletal looking lady. But yeah, I was curious to see her. I find it weird that she has like a little bit of hair on her head, so I'm just like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like the sound of that.
I'm not really big on that. I'm like, go back bald, man. Come on, man. You can go back bald. That was good look. I think it's all right. Look, I know some people don't like it, but I think for you, I think it's all right. I think it's definitely better than that shit. But yeah, I might like go back watch that. I was looking at Venture Brothers, again, because I know it's on Netflix. Even though Netflix, I don't understand the deal. They only do 3 seasons. They only have 3 seasons up there, Venture Brothers. Like, you couldn't just get the whole fucking series.
Yeah.
And you can't see the series
HBO
nowhere else.
Max, maybe? It's not on HBO Max anymore.
Yeah, it's not on anything else. That's the pissed me off.
Yeah.
So really I had to go sail. I had to go sail the open seas, and before I can see the other ones.
It's fine. I'll make legal copies of my DVDs and put them on my totally legal Plex server that I don't have.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. Like in all these shows, like that, I'll be wanting to see. Like one time, I wanted to see like Drew Carey. It's like, well, I said, who has Drew Carey? And I was like, nobody does. Just like Tubi and Plex. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I gotta watch commercials. It's like I want to watch commercials. And then it was this weird show that I wanted to finish watching. That came on Cartoon Network, Adult Swim. I think it was made by the guys who did Robot Chicken, at least maybe some of them or something. It was like a Frankenstein kind of thing, and it's almost
Okay.
like it's not really claymation, almost like, well, it's kind of claymation paper mache kind of look, and it was all right, but I never finished it, so I wanted to check it out, and it is on, I believe, Plex, but those commercials, man, like the show's only 15 minutes, and it's like, dude, like you gotta give me at least just one commercial at the beginning, man, or something, man, before I can just get through the episode. I don't want to, like, I start the episode, then it's like commercial, and it's like, come on, man, I don't want to do that. And this long ass commercials, it's like, man, I'm tired of that. All right, so that's all I watched. So, what you been watching?
All right, so I finally started the season 2 of Last of Us,
All right.
and I got to the episode where the big thing happens. I mean, I'm just gonna say it. It's been spoilers for the game for several years now, and I'm even weeks behind on the show. So they killed Joel. That was a
Oh
very
shit,
intense moment.
I did
Yeah,
not. I
you didn't
missed that
know?
on
Oh
one of the
no,
YouTube
Dominic, I'm
episodes.
sorry.
I
Yeah,
was wondering
that
why he
was a
wasn't
very
there
intense
when
episode.
she was like, "So what's she
Later in the
looking for?"
game.
Yeah, I said, "What's she going revenge for?"
um, yeah, so they introduce that woman and her clique from the Fireflies, and
Yeah, and that woman,
yeah,
I mean, I know her. I mean, I know when she was young, like, because, well, I think when the first time I ever seen her was Justified, and
okay,
like she was up there, and she would appear every now and then. She was like this young, like, teenage girl, but she was kind of badass. Like she knew her shit, and like she ain't take shit for nobody. I used to
yeah.
like her, and then she, of course, she was on The Last Man Standing. The
Okay,
daughter.
that's where, yeah,
Oh
I
yeah,
knew
that was the
she
daughter,
looked
his daughter.
familiar. Yeah,
Um, and yeah, and I mean, I don't know what she's done. She probably, I mean, I'm sure she's done her things. I just don't know what she's done
yeah,
since that show. But yeah, when I heard she was playing that woman, I said, you know what? I said that fits it. That fits her.
yeah. I mean, you get raised by what's his face, and then that you take a turn. Tim Allen turns you, Dominic.
Oh, wait. He said, oh, wait a minute. What she get raised by? Because I don't know. I don't know her full.
By
I don't know
Tim
the
Allen
full story. Oh, you get raised
on
by
Last Man Standing. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you saying you got raised by her? Oh, okay.
And then he becomes a doctor. He gets killed by Joel, and then revenge spree. I get it.
Tim Allen becomes a doctor.
Yeah, I know that's the funniest thing out of all of it. Tim Allen actually being a
Yeah.
doctor. He needs more power for the surgical drill. Just goes out the back of your spine. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it's just so far, it's it's just as good as the first season, and once again, this is like me coming into this knowing generally about the plot points of The Last of Us and The Last of Us 2, but having never actually played a significant portion of either of those games. Honestly, I don't know how the second game ends right now. Like,
I
I'm
honestly
sure
don't
we've
know
talked
either.
about it.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I just know that there was
I
one part where somebody could have killed somebody and they didn't, and
yeah,
I don't know if that was the end though. To be honest with you.
right. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm honestly I'm not like I gotta watch this every time an episode drops. I'm kind of, especially after this, watching like the first couple episodes here. I'm like, I'll let it cook in that way. If it gets to a point where like the tension's building, I can just be like, okay, I'm watching the next episode after that.
But
Obviously, there's.
oh, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just saying, obviously, there's some like benefit. I get. I don't know about benefit, but like there's some like specialness to it if you do like, oh, end on that cliffhanger and like take the week to like think about what could happen next.
Yes. You need water
Especially
cooler
for
talk,
someone
Daniel.
that. What's that?
You need water cooler talk.
Exactly. I need water
because
cooler
there's
talk,
nothing
even though I
else
don't
going on.
know that anybody at work is watching The Last of Us. It's not something we talk about. So I'm just going to start going up to random people. What do you think about them killing Joel like that? Like, that's really messed up. Who's Joel? Yeah, so it's been good. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I've been like watching here and there. I don't think so. But I did go to the theaters and saw Thunderbolts. Had a free night with one of my sister-in-laws watching my child. So we went and saw Thunderbolts, and that movie's really good. It's a lot smaller, kind of like cast wise, and even like on the Marvel scale of things. Obviously, they do touch on some of the like bigger things that are happening in the Marvel universe right now, but really, it's kind of about
What is happening?
those
What's
kind of.
honestly happening right now?
I
I have
think
no
that's the
idea.
problem, right? It's the incursion stuff, all the like dimensions colliding stuff, which I don't
Okay, because
think
I
they've
mean,
done.
like I haven't seen like five, maybe like
Yeah.
5 or 4 movies. So I mean,
They
I
also
honestly
just
don't
haven't
know.
really done a good job outside of like kind of vaguely mentioning it. It doesn't. I'm, I don't know. Like, it's easy to think back with like in retrospect, like what they did with Thanos was like super great, right? Because like, oh, he showed up at the end of this movie, and but at this this just isn't happening in the same way. It's more like this generalized like thing that's happening in the universe instead of like this like greater threat that is being shown as such. It's one of those things where it almost feels like um they're trying to I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if they're like catering more towards people who are familiar with the comics, and maybe this was again the same way with Thanos, where it's like, oh, the people that know, we all know that they're leading to secret wars, um just because they've already announced that. But like what that means to the layman, the non like comic book reader, versus someone that is at least somewhat aware of those comics. Like, I didn't read those comics either, but I've read enough Wikipedia pages that summarized or watched some YouTube videos or whatever to
And
generally know
you seen that
what it's
Spider-Man
leading to.
episode? Yes,
And I
yes.
say exactly, and I saw the Spider-Man episode. That when it comes down to it, Dominic, a lot of my like comic book knowledge comes from those 90s cartoon shows.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a lot of my friends too. We didn't read comic books.
Yeah, no,
We honestly didn't. It wasn't a thing to go to Well, it wasn't really a lot of comic book stores. It wasn't like that. And where I grew up, it was like Japanese, but that actually didn't last.
no.
And when I got by middle school, probably middle school
Mm-mm.
or high school, about I want to say middle school, I didn't see anymore. Um, but yeah, and plus comic books, they were and the ones I seen, and comic books weren't cheap.
No.
Like by the time my age, I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess you get the cost equivalent, like to what it was then, but I think it still was cheaper, even if you put the cost like relative to like how many cents they paid for those books. Because I mean,
Yeah.
come on, like
It was
three
also
three to
like the
four.
length of those books too. Like, you're gonna get through that, in like 30 minutes to an hour at most.
Yeah, and thing is, when I was reading some of the old like Spider-Man or Fantastic Four comics when they have the epic collections, they were
Mhm.
like they were 20 pages, and I think if you get the comics now, I never count the pages. They're probably the same, but it's not as many blocks to read.
Yeah.
It's there's like big pictures. The pictures and
I was
drawings
gonna
are
say
nice,
bigger
but it's not a
art
whole lot to
whatnot.
read. You can really
Yeah.
like 30 minutes, man. I mean, 30
I
minutes
was
is
gonna
because
say
you're
that's
looking at those
probably
pictures.
exaggerating it. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I think 30 minutes for those old ones. Yes. There was a lot of words. Sometimes too many words. But it was like, cause I was just thinking, it's like, wow, like look how many blocks of like I don't know what the exact word is, but whatever. But the blocks of the comic is in that one page compared to these other the comics I read now. I'm like, but they tell a good enough story. I mean, some of them, the ones I do like, they tell a good enough story, and within that, it's not like I say like, oh, I need more, but it's also like, yeah, it's just different. And I think they do, and what they do more in the older comic, in the newer comics, is that they show you what's going on. Like you look at the drawing and see the action, you see what's happening. While in the old comic books, they'll literally write it out what's happening. Like they have the narrator part where it's like you're reading like he did this, he swooped down and blah blah blah, and like they're going deep. And then when people do their thoughts, it's like in reality, it's like that could be edited out. You didn't have to hear that thought bubble. Like you know what this guy is feeling.
Right.
But they have it where the guy's explaining to himself what he's feeling, but it's like explaining to you. And I mean, that's how writing was back then. Yeah, that's how it was until they grew from that. Like they grew. Like, yeah, it changed from that, where they don't have to just tell you literally everything they thinking. And this is when bad guys were bad. Like they literally were evil. They say, "Yes, I'm evil." Like it was just saying. It's like that's how it was as kids. Like the bad guys knew they're evil and they'll say they're evil. Everybody in reality, people don't just say they're evil. Like Hitler wasn't like, I'm evil. I want to kill these Jews because I'm just evil. like they don't think of themselves as literally like I'm a bad person. They might say I've done some bad things, but they don't really like think like I'm just an evil person. I'm just
for the greater good, quote unquote, right? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
They always think they're doing the right thing in the long. It's like when you were talking about the rebellions. They're like, yeah, I may have to do this, but it's because I want to do this for my people, for my society, for my country, for whatever, Yeah, there's not many people going around. Nope, I'm the devil. Ha ha ha.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then people just say like rule the world, and it's like you know how much it takes to rule the world. Like how it's like I don't know who was that even that responsibility like to control that much people. You barely can control like a country, let alone you can say
controlling Dominic. I'm bringing the world, the people of the world together. That's how I'm justifying it in my head. I'm the only one that could possibly pull this off.
Yeah. I always find funny. It's like, what about the other villains that was around? What were they doing? Like they're gonna just be like, yeah, I'm gonna let. Well,
they're
gonna
work with me to, I'm gonna give them Zanzibar or whatever.
Or like what's it called the Savage Lands or whatever. Where
give them the Savage Lands. Give that pterodactyl guy the Savage Lands.
That guy who can. Yeah, he's already a pterodactyl, but he also can he's got psychic powers.
All right. So Thunderbolt's very good. I think it follows in the footsteps of a Suicide Squad or a Guardians of the Galaxy, but does a good enough job distancing itself from both of those and kind of carving its own path without just being like Temu version of that, or we got that at home kind of thing. Obviously talking about the James Gunn.
I appreciate you disrespecting Temu there.
I'm sorry. They're quality products. My shop
mother
like a
has
billionaire.
Bought a lot of stuff from there and have tried to take a lot of stuff back.
Yeah, I think all the actors are very good in it. They kind of really just pare it down to the people that have the most interesting stories, I think, and kind of go from there. It's if you've seen the trailer for it, you get kind of the main beats. It is a Marvel movie where it's like, oh, there's a serious thing happening, but also there's some lighthearted jokiness. But I think this does a better job at balancing that. Where it's not, again, because I think it's a smaller thing. It's not this like world threatening thing, even though the reality is like, if we were to see, the kind of eventual down the line, if this were to continue happening, it would absolutely be catastrophic for this universe, because the villain, they've talked about it. It's Sentry slash the Void, which is basically like the Superman equivalent in Marvel, but also he's got like this dark side that he can't control. So, in a world where this guy gets, unleashed completely, that could be very bad. So yeah, but they do handle it in a smaller scale, and I really enjoyed that. Without getting too spoilery about it, they have already gone out and in the advertisements started calling this the new Marvel, or the new Avengers, and that is a fun little gag that they kind of tack on at the very end of it, where it's Val, the former CIA director, played by what's her name, Elaine from Seinfeld.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yeah, and Veep. Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She basically kind of puts them in that position where now they're the new Avengers, and then in the post-credit sequence, it's like, well, we're the new Avengers, but Captain America's got this Avengers team that they're trying to put a cease and desist on us, and stuff like that. So I think there could be some fun stuff there too, as we get to a more serious Avengers team with Captain America's team against these guys who are just the ragtag ruffians. But they definitely do some interesting stuff, even with like John Walker, U.S. Agent, Captain America from the Captain American Winter Soldier series, exploring like what he's got going on and fleshing out his character more. So yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's one of the better Marvel movies since the move from Endgame, basically. It's up there with Guardians 3, I would say. So yeah, I recommend it. It's probably the best Marvel you're going to get. I don't want to say the best Marvel you're going to get for a while, because hopefully, I was going to say, hopefully Fantastic Four ends up being just as good. It is kind of interesting, though. I want to see what they're going to do to differentiate this from like this other kind of group endeavor, right? I mean, obviously Thunderbolts is kind of this like found family almost movie where it's like all these people are individuals, whereas Fantastic Four is actually like, hey, no, these guys are family, and dealing with things.
The best superhero family.
They're the best superhero family. They are the first. That's what they used to say. Family.
Oh, I don't know that. Maybe I have no idea.
Okay. Or at least that's the way they used to be advertised. They were the first family of Marvel. At least I don't know about DC.
Oh well, I know definitely first family of Marvel, but yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Was there a family even in DC or some other comic? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like,
people hated families back then, Dominic.
Yeah, they usually they might just have a sidekick. That's it.
All right. Yeah, so that's what I got this week.
All right. So so I guess we get to what we've been playing. So all right, so since like my computer's been like an iffy, I can't really play much. I can't play much Clair Obscur. And going back to the 970, oh my god, it's not good. I might have to start playing that probably through streaming. I don't. That's not a great either, but it just pisses me off. All right, but I've been playing some Unicorn Overlord. I've been playing a lot of that, and I was saying that what, this is very much like Fire Emblem. Now I didn't only play like one real Fire Emblem game, not the Warriors ones. Like looking back at Fire Emblem, looking at all that, I was comparing it to like the videos I've seen of it, and other people are saying, this is definitely, because even like their class system is the same, and like weaknesses and stuff. It's like, this is very much very similar, because I was playing some Fire Emblem Warriors also, and I was saying like, because they do the same thing. Like they have like, oh, like if you like the knights are weak against the griffins or dragons or whatever. And I was like, that's the same as Unicorn Overlord. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's why I really look back at Fire Emblem regular. It's like, okay, this game is very similar to that. It's just done a little differently. It's just done in a way that's a little different, but it's very similar. It's still that strategy game, but man, it's a lot. Like I don't know how, because I've seen people at like high levels of 40 and whatever, and
Mhm.
I'm just at like, I mean, my highest level guy is Twain. That's only because he was already leveled up. That one of the characters you get, he's like really strong. Um, and but my other characters, they haven't got to level 20 yet. So I'm like, man, I must got a lot of game left. And it was like I was doing a lot of side missions. There's a lot of side missions like of you being able to get other characters if you choose to, even though,
Mhm.
like I said, there is no it seemed like there's no reason not to choose it. It seemed like it's a loss. Like I was kind of hoping at least like a story element to it, like if you don't choose this character or whatever, or it could be something like, hey, you have to you if you don't choose this character, you get someone else or something, get something different, like for some other reason. But that's like the only downside. They didn't go too deep with that, but yeah, just the strategy of trying to put my forces together to go in there and fight. Like I got to a group of three, and I think, oh, I got one group of four actually. And man, it is hard to find a lot of strategy in on this game online. Not the YouTube videos, because I don't want to go through having to watch a video.
Right.
Um, but like even like just the wikis and all the other stuff, like a lot of them not finished. And I'm like, wow, I never really seen like a game that was actually considered really good. I don't know about popular. I mean, I think popular enough for for that game, but it's like, man, like things are still saying like, oh, we'll be right back. It's like this game came out almost a year ago. You're not going to finish. It's like you're not going to finish this thing. Like people are already beating the game. So I'm like, darn. So there's a lot of things I have to figure out on my own, because I think even a guy said that like on a Reddit, he was like, man, I'm having a hard time finding like any strategy. Like I want to put the best team together, and like I see some recommendations and stuff, but I was thinking like, oh, they're going to do some more. And then I guess they just stopped at that. I was like, oh, come on. Like, I need, like, what's the best 5-man team or 4-man team? And now there's some videos out there on YouTube, but like I said, going through them, because I got to fast forward, because I'm just trying to see what it is. I don't need them to explain to me. I said, I can figure that out. I'll just put the team together and I'll go see what happens. Um, but I just said, fuck it. I'm just going to have to do it myself. I just got to just figure out. I know, like, I kind of just looked up to see, like, what's the best position certain characters to be in. I know, like, some people say, like, oh, this thing has low physical defense, so you want to put them in the back row. But there's some characters, but they do more damage than the front row, though. So it's like, it's a trade off with that. And but some people say, like, if you're teaming up with this other character, it will heal them or put like give a shield to them or something that will help them
Mhm.
so they can be in front row. So it's like, okay, so it's the layers to that. And yeah, the game is awesome. Like Unicorn Overlord was really good, because now I'm looking back, I don't know where I placed it at on my list. I mean, technically we didn't do it this year because of my hard drive getting wiped.
Yeah.
So well, fried. So I don't know where I had put it at, but like I think it would have been higher. Honestly, I think it would have been. I would think it would have been higher than wherever I had it at. It would have to be
Mhm.
like in the top three.
Nice.
Honestly, if if they were doing it again. Um. So I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 3, because we was using that to test out
Mhm.
like seeing what was wrong on my computer. Realized it was the graphics card, but man, it's not running as smoothly as it seemed like it was when
Oh, really?
when we had tested. Like once I started playing like and going other stages, it started
Mhm.
like, oh yeah, I see the difference. This definitely ain't as smooth as the other graphics card. But
Mhm.
I mean, it's all right. I mean, I can deal with it. Like I can definitely deal with that. Um, but I've been playing a lot of that. It's on Game Pass, and this is the one with everything. So you get some extra stuff, some extra skins, some extra little token things you put on your guns, and
Oh,
everything.
okay.
Stuff I didn't have because I just bought the base game.
Right.
So I was like messing around with that stuff, but I was actually playing through, and since I'm playing by myself, because when I was playing with Foot, I wasn't really paying attention to the story. We just went mission and just look at where the dot where you're supposed to go. And
Mhm.
said, okay, we have to go here and shoot our way. And when we didn't pay attention to the story, and we realized, oh, what are we supposed to be doing? Then we just look online, and then we realized, like, oh, that's because they said it, but we just missed it. But now since I'm paying attention to the story, it's all right. It's actually, like I'm having a better time with it than I initially was. Because initially I was just playing it and like the gameplay wise, it was just I felt the same as two with some little changes and improvements, but overall I still like two better then. And I mean I think two is still the better game, but now I'm kind of enjoying it more because I'm like listening to the story and the dialogue and stuff, and it's pretty funny. Like I like the comedy in Borderlands, and the yeah, I mean, yeah, it's actually all right. So like me actually paying more attention and also really paying attention to the guns. Like now I'm kind of understanding that smart gun where you shoot this tracker and it kind of just explodes and goes on the enemies, and then it automatically switches you back to your smart bullets, so the bullets will track those enemies, like it would just go right to them. And I thought I like that gun. That's pretty cool. Some of the guns where you cool off, like I said, you use like a water pistol to cool it off. Apparently, those guns are pretty neat. Like they do different ability. They have different types of those guns too. Like they got their basic stuff. I think they like corrosive, electricity, fire, um, what's the other one? Ice. They also got a new one. I forgot what it's called. It's a new one that's for three. It wasn't in two. I forgot. It's yellow. It does something to enemies. The corrosion one is good for robots. This other one's good for people, for actual humans. I forgot what it was, but yeah, it's game's fun, and yeah, four is coming out. I'm sort of looking forward to it. I mean, like Borderlands is the best of its kind, really, to me. Like, I
Mm.
really like that game. I mean, I guess the only thing comparable is like something like a Destiny or something, but that's really uh online game, more so like what would you call Destiny? It's not massively multiplayer, really.
Nah.
It's I don't know what is like the actual term of genre that Destiny is.
Um, aren't
Because
they
the
just like
basic thing
looter
is online
shooters? Isn't
shooter,
that what
but
they kind of call them? Looter
what
shooters?
do you say?
Looter shooters? And that kind of what
Yeah, I
it
guess
gets
it's
lumped
loot.
into?
Yeah, but Borderlands is that, but it's just not in that vein of how Destiny is set up. I mean,
Mm.
there's other games that's similar to how Destiny's set up. Borderlands is actual
Yeah.
like it's a it's almost like it's a single not single player, but you know what I mean. It's like a single player story that you can play with three other people. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? It's like I mean, and like you're the group of guys. It's not like oh, you go to a hub world. It's not like that. I don't know what you would call it, but whatever. Um, that
I would
is.
call Destiny a Fantasy Star like because it's similarly like instanced, even though that was an MMO. Like in the grand scheme of things, you would drop into a planet and it would only be like 5 of you or something like that.
Five of you, yeah, exactly. But there was a hub world, yeah, there was a hub world in Fantasy Star where
Yeah.
you can just see other people and things, and then you just
PSO
choose your
like
mission.
Dominic. That's what we're gonna call them from now on.
um, but yeah, so yeah, I'm just trying to think like another game is just like Borderlands though, where it's like, hey, I just go and play. It's not a whole bunch of online stuff. They're like, hey, buy this, and now they have a little bit of stuff, but like, well, they got a thing in the corner saying, hey, Borderlands 4 is coming out. But but there's it's not in that. like those online type of online only games. Like I can't think of another game that's like that. That's currently out. Like I yeah. The yeah, that's the closest thing. I guess if you want to consider that zombie game, the War Z, but like but that's like different stages. Like it's more closer to what Left 4 Dead was. Uh like but I guess but that's the closest thing that's not online only. All right. So what else have I played? I played some more Fire Emblem Warriors because since I haven't been last with a PC, I've been sitting down in front of TV and I just probably pick up my Switch and I've been playing some of that. I've been playing that. I had already started this new character because I chose a different side. I chose to be a woman this time, or I don't know if she's a woman or a girl. She like 'cause I don't know how old these people supposed to be. They seem pretty young, so I won't say she's a girl. She's either 18 or 16. I don't know.
Just a baby, Dominic, a baby.
But so I chose her and I forgot the group's name because I haven't played so long, but they're the alliance. They're alliance because there's Alliance, Empire, and I don't know what the other group is. Kingdom or Republic? I don't know. But I know it's like three of them, and so I chose the Alliance group, and I'm kind of playing through there. And yeah, game's fun as hell. I mean, like I said, I like Dynasty Warriors, and I like the aspect of them putting what they had in Fire Emblem. They put the strategy aspect into it. So, like on the map, I choose like I can tell people where to go, and also like strategize like how to attack the enemy on the battlefield and everything. Like it's not just the simple smash buttons. Like I'm just gonna keep this hitting and this one because if you don't know where you're going or anything, yeah, you're end up losing like the mission because the enemy probably captured a base or something because you were just killing enemies, just like indiscriminately. Um, but yeah, so I like that they really I mean, this is what these guys done over there at Koei Tecmo. Over the years, even with Dynasty Warriors, they have evolved it. And like, Dynasty. I'm hearing like from Dynasty Warriors Origins, like it's been selling really well. It's been doing really well. I kind of want to get back in that game too, but kind of sucks now. I had to go back and play it on this graphics card. Even though I was playing the last graphics card, but I played it with the new one, and I saw that game look and run, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's so much better. Um, but yeah, going to that, yeah, it gets so addictive playing that. Like between that and baseball, like I get addicted. Like in baseball, like I'm playing MLB The Show also, and like just going through games, man. And I kind of feel like, man, now I feel so unreal because it's like, man, the Orioles suck, and I'm up here winning games and shit. Even though I got rid of some players, like I got rid of some players to get some pitchers, and a nice bat also I picked up. And yeah, but I was like, man, it's like we definitely winning way too many games compared to this team. It's it's like totally different. But the Dodgers are still like the best team though in that game, even without like just them simulating their games while I'm playing mines. Uh, yeah, I'm trying to think like what are some of the differences in that game. Well, aside from the obvious differences because I'm playing on Switch, the like the additions they like I said, the menu systems are different. The like even starting the game, they update. Like I said, I think I said this before. They update you on like what's the top news going on in the league while you start the game. Like they show like, hey, this guy's on this hitting streak right now, and this guy is batting like 400 for the last 10 games and stuff like that. Like you see, when you're watching games, that's like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. But the thing is, I wish I could see that in like the menu of the franchise where they have thing where like this is the NBA 2K and they might still do that. They might still do that. I wish baseball would also do that. And I wanted to be, and I wanted to go deep. Like, look, man, baseball is all about numbers. So I wanted to go deep, where it's like, hey, this your batter bats like only like 200 against this particular pitcher. Like like I want to see that. Like I want to know who's on the mound, and how the individual does against them. Like I can look that up if I want to. Like I want all those kind of number stats there. Like it could be done, man. Like it's like this is baseball. Like this is like those numbers game. Like I want to see all those type of stats. Like this guy does this well against this pitcher, or vice versa. How this pitcher like does on his team, or how they do. Well, they do have how the team does during the day and night and stuff like that. But yeah, I want them to go deep with the players on all that stuff, man. Um, yeah, so that's what I've been playing. So, what you been playing?
All right, so I've been playing more of Blueprints. It's still a game that I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to beat this game, because I feel like every day, every run that I play of this game, I'm just kind of unlocking new mysteries. And like I'm occasionally solving some of these things, but for the most part, it's really just like building and building and building. And I don't think there's just going to be like one run where I piece all of the answers together.
Yeah, I think that's what I came to. I think that's why I kind of stopped,
Yeah.
because all I did was get. I mean, I like the whole thing of like, oh yeah, that's a new mystery. That's a new mystery. But then like, oh man, I'm going to put all this stuff together. Like, it's a
Yeah.
little too much. It's like for me to really
It
get.
definitely
That's
can
why.
be.
And I'm thinking like, see, this is why I need it, so that they have their own journal and stuff, so I can like they fill it out and I can go back and look and like, okay, this fits with that. It's like, yeah, I don't. I mean, look, I know that's the old school way of doing things. I mean, and some people have fun doing that, and that's fine. But it's not. I'm not in that point in my life where I want to do that right now. Like I don't want to. I don't want to be doing, because if I get to the point, like for me personally, if I get to a point where I have to really study and write stuff down playing the game, I always tell myself I could be doing something a whole lot more important if I'm going to even do
I could
that.
be
I
using
can
his
do some.
brain power for good.
Yeah, I could be actually reading a book I'm supposed to be reading or something, and actually do that, and like instead of this game. And so that's why I always stop myself with stuff like that. And it's not to tell like anybody else like, oh, they shouldn't be doing. No, it's just that's just me. It's like I because I have, yeah, so much stuff I want to do or need to do, that is like, man, if I'm going to go that deep in the game, then I could be doing something else like
Yeah.
that's more productive.
Yeah, I've got like one little sheet here next to me that I've scribbled some stuff down on, but like I haven't really gotten to a point where I've felt the need to do too much of that. Like a lot of it's, once you find out about it, it's kind of obvious. And I will say the other nice thing about it is a lot of the like mysteries, I feel like once you solve them, they're solved. Like you don't have to solve them every time. I don't need to memorize this code because I have to do it every time I do a run. Even something like you get a password for the computer, they have a button where it just auto fills it in after that once you've entered it
Okay, that's
right
good.
first time. So there is some of that like quality of life stuff in there, I will say. Once I solved the breaker puzzle, I realized like the second time I didn't need to do that again. Now, stuff like the dartboard game, you have to do that every time to get whatever's behind it. But there are like room upgrades where it makes it easier, apparently. Um, so I mean, I think that's kind of my end game, is like, obviously I would like to get into that final room and see what this is all about. But really, I just kind of want to see what this game evolves into. Like, I want to see the final iteration of the house. Like there are room upgrades, like we've talked about that before. So I want to see like what the final evolution of each of the rooms is, how many room upgrades there are. Can I do all of the room upgrades, or is it like, okay, now that I've gone down this path, is that the only path I've gone down? Now there's also stuff in there like they have like you're talking about with like journals and stuff to make it it more accessible. There's also stuff in there where it's kind of describing the meta to me. It's like there's a library in there and you can rent books, and one of the books is like, these are the kinds of houses that some people design. Like if I'm going for a greenhouse, focusing on the green rooms, which is usually like the plants and stuff. These are the things that we recommend you do, build this before building this, or build. And I thought that was really nice to have it actually kind of laid out for me that way, because I don't go, okay, I'm going to make this run as like a red room run or a blue room run or a green room run. I'm just going like, okay, what is the room that I can get at this time to get to the next
so I didn't realize there's some. Oh, okay. So it's some connection with those rooms, so that it'll be actually beneficial if you just try to get those rooms. Oh, okay.
Exactly. Yep. And that was a nice thing to just basically kind of have the game lay out for me, because it's something that I probably wouldn't have pieced together, just because my play style is, okay, my goal here is to get to that final room. What room do I need that's going to lead me north, basically? What room is going to not dead end to me? But the game explained to me that sometimes it's beneficial to utilize those dead ends where you can, without impeding your progress, to further your progress, because a lot of times, like, the dead end rooms are your bedrooms and stuff like that, but your bedrooms are also the ones that usually give you like extra steps and things of that nature, that allow you to explore more. So I do really appreciate that aspect of the game, that there is stuff in there that is actually like kind of, I don't know about spoon feeding me, but it's giving me the kind of understanding of the game without having to go on the internet and have someone else explain to me what I should be doing with this game. So that's why I really enjoy the exploration aspect of this game, not just like the puzzle solving. Even though you're seeing a lot of the same rooms, sometimes you're discovering new and different things about those rooms and evolving those rooms. So there's still a lot here for me to like. And it's just between this and then just like more and more and more games coming out, we're starting to see the reviews for Doom now, and that comes out next week. It's like, am I going to play that, or am I going to wait until I'm done this game? Or also started playing Clair Obscur just because I wanted to see what's going on with that, and I knew maybe you weren't going to be able to play it as much. So I thought, everybody's talking about it like it's potentially the best game of the year already and a contender for like one of the greatest games of all time. I felt like I needed to see what it was doing. And I come at it from an interesting perspective, because like everything that I saw up to this point, I'm like, wow, that game looks incredible. It's visually it's pretty stunning. And I actually kind of came into it and immediately went like, oh, I'm starting to see why some people are not so high on the graphics. And it's not like a fidelity issue. It still looks good, but you can at the same time tell that it's made by like a smaller studio.
Yeah,
who aren't as like
faces.
Obsessive. Yeah,
look at the faces. Yeah,
some of them are like super weird. It almost feels like they're doing like the LA Noire, like superimposing, the faces on top of things, but like his hands going through his jacket and stuff like that. It's one of those things where I talked about it a little bit with like Assassin's Creed when I was playing that, where like if it's a Naughty Dog game, you're putting your hand on the door handle, you're slowly turning it, and you're opening it. Assassin's Creed, you're just like waving your hand in front of the thing to open it up. And in this game, it just feels like you would almost just walk straight through the door. And that's not to disparage this game. I think there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in this game already. And I'm only at the beginning of Act 1. Like I went through the whole like I guess you would consider just like the tutorial stuff as the story is laid out for you and you begin your expedition.
Yeah.
But already the story is very interesting. You know, you have this general concept of like this woman on this far off island paints a number, and all of a sudden everybody at that age just turns into flower petals, and disappears off the face of the planet. And that's in addition to the fracturing thing that's going on as well, you know. But from a personal level, you know, your character is having these relationships with these people that are then, you know, disappearing, or, you know, are not that far away from disappearing. You yourself, or, you know, you're a year away from potentially having the same thing happen to you. So I am very intrigued to see like where this story goes, and the gameplay is definitely, I don't know if I want to say entirely unique, but it is definitely a cool variant of a traditional JRPG where you're selecting your thing, but you're actively, you know, defending, and you can do your block or your dodge rather, but you can also do the parry, which is going to have a smaller window. Now that stuff I'm definitely finding myself not quite getting the hang of yet.
Yeah. Because enemies are different, and it's kind of hard to tell, especially if you first seen an enemy. It's hard to tell when they're going to swing.
Yeah, because
Or
they're trying to be obtuse about it, right? Like even in the tutorial when you're fighting your sister, like she stands there for a minute before she goes into her attack, so she's kind of like baiting you into, you know, blocking or parrying super early, and then by the time you're out of that animation, it's the perfect time for her to actually swing, or like she'll hang up in the air for a second. So yeah, I want to see the way that evolves in the game too. Like, am I going to get better? Because I heard people talking about like listen for like the sound cues and stuff like that, but I didn't find myself noticing that really at all, at least in the tutorial battles that I was facing. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting game. It's definitely a game that I can now see, like, having experienced it, how it is like a smaller team's game, you know, where corners are cut a little bit more. But I don't think that's impairing it in any way. So that's, you know, I think that speaks volumes to about what they're doing with the story and the gameplay aspects of it. Even just running around in that game feels really good, because you just full on sprint. You just all out run. And then I assume as you build up your party later in the game, but like I liked when it was you and the woman that you were with, and you could just change characters on the fly with the left stick. I just thought that was really cool. And then you can go up to people and interact with them. Now, in my limited experience there, it didn't necessarily seem like me switching between those characters was actually having much of an effect on those conversations. It was almost like, okay, I was the man, but now I'm going into this conversation as the woman.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I'm going to get the man's side of this conversation, and then I'm going to get the woman's side of the conversation.
At least not at the part you're at. I mean, and I mean, so far, I mean, that hasn't been the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, this game's totally interesting. I see why it is definitely captured kind of the zeitgeist right now in the video game sphere, and I am definitely interested to play more of it. And I do appreciate the fact that, like, if I do find myself struggling with the combat, there is an easier mode. You know, there's a lower difficulty level there that opens up that timing, it sounds like, and just allows you to get that story more if that's what you're looking for. Yeah.
All right. So that's it.
That's it for me.
All right. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're flashbacking to 2015. This is the flashback segment. So we got a new month. We're gonna do covers, and we got a few games. Ain't that many games, so that's why we can do covers. Also, even with this 2 weeks, but we do got some big games though. Project Cars came out 10 years ago. I remember we talked about Project Cars on our first year of doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Really, yeah, man. Holy shit. We did the podcast, what, 2014, I think is first time. So yeah, so yeah, it was like initially like it was a crowdfunded game, which it kind of ended up being like an investment, right? Like some people actually got people who crowdfunded got money
Yeah, they
back.
actually got checks back when it made a profit.
Yeah, so like good for those guys. And yeah, good for starting a franchise. I mean, it has 3 games now. I totally forgot it was
Yeah.
a third one. I mean, it wasn't rated that well. It came out in 2020 though, but I just remember like this simulation game, and I always question like why this game? Like when there were Forza, or if you had a PlayStation 4, Gran Turismo. Well, actually for PS4, that was kind of, you had that weird Gran Turismo. Um and that didn't even come out yet. Real Yeah, I don't even think that came out. Yeah, that didn't even come out yet.
Yeah.
That Gran Turismo. Yeah, PlayStation 4 technically didn't have a first party racing game. So okay, I can see why some people would want to Project Cars. Because yeah, especially from the PlayStation side.
Yeah.
For the Xbox side, I wondered like what was the appeal of Project Cars? I'm curious about
I would imagine it
that.
has to be like a more sim style thing than like what we enjoy as far as like the Horizon game. So maybe
Okay, so you think
the
it's
classic
a more
Forza
deeper?
just yeah, maybe the classic Forza was just not hidden for people. Excuse me. I also confuse this game, I think, with iRacing, which is like the super sim online one that people use a
Oh
lot.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so yeah, I think I always confuse those two, and yeah, that's why when you said like Project Cars 2 and then Project Cars 3, I was like, did they really make more than one of those games? And yeah, they did, and this is more like in line with a Gran Turismo or a Forza than like Super Sim, where I gotta have my wheel and my brakes and all that stuff set up in my little car.
Yeah, so yeah, Project Cars, yeah, so they had like 74 cars in the game, now compared to like Gran Turismo or even Forza. Now I remember Gran Turismo, like I think 4, it got up to like almost 500 or something cars.
Yeah,
It was something ridiculous, and like I mean that's a big number, and
my
I mean
Honda
that's cool
Civic's in
sound.
there, Dominic. I'm fine.
Yeah, yeah, but the problem is like how many cars you really going to drive. But I give it to it. For think about it, that was a PS2, and you had that many cars, on that disc, like to be able to choose from, was great. And I guess also to customize. Now the customization got deeper later on in the series. I don't know how deep it was then, honestly,
Mm.
because of course, like the actual manufacturers have going to want certain things for their cars to be done or not to be done. But yeah, while this one's 74 drivable cars, so I mean, having less cars can also help with that. Definitely helps with development, and you can focus
Yeah,
on those
the
cars
ones people
also.
will
From
use. Yeah.
exactly. They had over 30 unique locations and at least 110 different courses. I mean, yeah, I mean, this is like one of those successful crowdfunded games, like projects. And I mean, they end up getting bought by Bandai Namco. Um, and then it said the franchise was introduced in 2015. But following then Project Cars 3 came in 2020, but following the acquisition of Codemasters by Electronic Arts, development on the Project Cars series ended in November 2022. So I guess there will be no more Project Cars going forward. Like the latest release, there was a Project Cars Go apparently that came out after
Oh, a
3.
mobile thing.
Yeah, it's just co-developed by Game Evil. Yes, yes, mobiles are evil.
Evil. Wow.
So
We just talked about how no one calls themselves evil, Dominic. Meanwhile, these guys.
It launched the game on Android and iOS. Prior to launch, the game had an open beta period on Android users in Finland, Denmark, Sweden, and Netherlands. Oh, they get it. I think that, yeah, I think, where is this place even based at? I'm not even sure. Slightly Mad Studios. That is in London, England. Okay.
I was going to say that's somewhere in Europe.
But yeah. So yeah, but I'm saying, but why did Codemasters get by Project Cars? This
I
is
think
acquisitions.
there's some connection there, yeah.
Yeah. Because like if this is acquisition of EA from Codemasters, I was wondering like what it had to do with them. It must have been it must have been somewhere the Codemasters must have the deal. I think I'm not sure, but yeah, that I mean that sucks. But Codemasters is a driving game. I mean if EA got it, it's like what's the why have all these driving games? You know what I mean? Is that you need to it'd be better to consolidate them. I mean, I hope like I mean, it's probably what happened. I would hope like most people weren't laid off and they just went to those others like Need for Speed or hell, they still got Burnout, which I don't know the fuck they are doing in that fucking series. And now they got Codemasters, which does the what's Codemaster Dirt series, right?
Yeah.
That they can go do that. Um, but you know, EA doesn't really have a simulation racer series. I mean, uh I'm not saying they need to or anything like that. I'm just saying they don't. And well, hell, they barely even put out freaking Need for Speed, honestly. Like our arcade game. Yeah, what was the last time they put the racing game out?
That's a good question. I don't even remember now. Need for Speed, maybe? That last one?
And when did that come out? Latest game? 2020. Though there was Unbound
Yeah.
2022.
No, I remember that one, yeah. Which I thought was
Okay.
A at the time.
Well,
Wow.
Steam
We're
gave
almost
it
to
a
3 years
6 out of
already.
10. What did Metacritic
Yeah, it
give
wasn't
it?
like great, but I thought they were at least doing something interesting for that
Okay,
series.
it's 77 on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. PC of 73. Yeah, it was, I guess, yeah, for a series that's been kind of gone
Yeah.
for a while. There was 2019's Heat. That's right, Heat. Heat was really like that was the one like I was like, oh, they're trying to come back. Still the same around the same around the same scores, the 70s. Like, yeah, I don't like for them, like for me, like I just need the I need the rewind button, man. You need to get rewind for me. And like I don't mind you having a story or something because I do like I mean that's got interested me in the stories. The problem is that I suck at driving games, so I need that rewind button so I can keep playing because that's the only thing missing for me for Horizon, honestly. Like for because I'm a guy who loves story and those games are fun, and I'm just thinking like, man, if you had like a kind of story to go with these races or something, like yeah, I can really capture it. Like me with that. All right. So what we got here? Pokemon. Oh, that's it for 2015. So now we're going back 20 years, and we got Pokemon Emerald came out. So this is the one that's the like the Pokemon Yellow for what's it, Ruby and Sapphire? Is that what it is? All right. So yeah, let
Yeah.
me turn you
Sorry,
up.
I
I give,
muted
oh,
myself.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's
So yeah,
Ruby and Sapphires.
yeah. So this is the one I never played those two games, but I played this one because you had it and you let me borrow it. And I did beat it. I just don't remember anything. I
Yeah.
did in that game, honestly. But you can go ahead since you probably remember more than I do.
I don't know that I do, honestly. Now
Oh
that I
yeah.
think about it, I don't know what all changed about it or what was different about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, I'm never
I
gonna
think
tell
that's
you
one of
that.
the last ones that I really put any time into. I'm trying
Like
to think if I
since the
bought
Switch one,
Ruby and
right? This is probably the
Sapphire.
last one before the Switch one.
I think I own Black and White. Well, one of the Black and White games, but I don't know that I put much time into that either. I think similarly, I bought Emerald and then I didn't really play much of it. You got my money's worth out of that probably.
Oh,
And then Black and White, I probably played more than that because I'm trying to think if I owned Ruby and Sapphire. I would have owned Ruby because that was my birthstone, and that's something I would have been like, oh, I should get that because it's my birthstone.
holy
Um,
shit! I forgot birthstones was a thing, Daniel. What like what is my birthstone? I don't think I ever looked. I thought that was a girl's thing because I
I
like well,
think
always.
it
I mean,
is.
I'm not saying.
As far
Yeah,
as like, yeah, because you get jewelry for that kind of stuff, right?
yeah. I mean, not saying yeah, men get jewelry too, but I just because I think I heard it from my sister or my mom or something, and I
Yeah.
never heard my dad talk about it, so I just figured it was a thing that was for women or something or girls.
I think it's very similar to astrology. Yeah.
Oh, so it's a straw. Oh, so if I have to put
It's
down,
not. I don't know that it's tied to it. I'm just saying, like, I think similarly to
yeah,
that,
because
it's
is it like a
something that
date?
women
It's
talk
not
about
just the
far
whole
more
month.
than the
Oh no, I think it's
no
the whole
for
month.
birthstones. It's actually months. Yeah,
Yeah,
birthstones.
yeah.
It's actual months, whereas
Okay. Yeah, Emerald.
astrology
Oh
is.
yes, I remember. I
See,
think I
see,
I
that's why
used
you
to
had to play
joke
this game, Dominic.
because I was like, oh, the Sonic. I was like Sonic the Hedgehog and Emeralds. It's like, hey, that's my birthstone. That's why Sonic was my favorite character then, like favorite
See,
game.
I think for me at least, it was just when I was a younger thing. It was like, oh hey, this is a neat thing that's related to my birthday, and my birthday is important, so therefore this thing is important.
So yeah, so Ruby, when's your birthday?
July.
July.
Yeah.
July. Yeah, yeah. Well, so Ruby is that day. Okay. So you're the same month as America's birthday, Daniel.
Yep. I was close to it. My cousin's birthday is actually on July 4th, and she was born the same year as me. So it was kind of
Oh,
like,
okay.
hey, who's actually going to be born in July 4th? And she got it, unfortunately. So
What's the day of your
I don't
birthday?
think fireworks. The 8th.
The 8th. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I knew that. Daniel. All right.
Now that I've fully doxed myself on the internet, Dominic.
So
My
yes, I have
social
all the
security
information
number
now.
is.
I have all them. Yes, I have all the information. It's like, yep. It's like all you need is that, and then say, now I can break the code on Social Security and get everything.
Yep.
All right. So the next game, here's another racing game that came out 20 years ago. Like Forza Motorsport is 20 years old. Came on the
Yeah.
original Xbox. This was their answer for Gran Turismo because Gran Turismo was the king. They were the king, and like there was no other really simulation racing game that was comparable to it on any
Yeah.
console. It wasn't even like a third party thing for like all of them. Like the only thing you got was like the arcade racers, which they were great. Need for Speed was great then. Like this is the height of New Speed. Need for Speed, Burnout series. You had I'm trying to think what other racing game was there. I mean, you had I know the dub edition, but Midnight Club.
Yeah,
Yeah,
midnight.
yeah, the Midnight Club. I mean, you had some but you had some really good arcade racing games, but simulators like you didn't really have any really. So Xbox, man, like now they have Project Gotham Racing, which I never played. I used to think that was like a Gran Turismo. I didn't know what it was. I'm guessing is it an arcade racer? I'm guessing that's what
Yeah,
that
it's
is.
more of an arcade racer. Yeah.
So yeah, so then they did Forza Motorsport, um and it was generally good. It like now then people say like it's very like to of course to Gran Turismo, and they said it wasn't as good as Gran Turismo then. Like, but I mean, some people said that, but I saw like the scores, like Game Informer gave it 8.5. And they gave Gran Turismo, I think 4 and 3, like in the up in the nines,
Yeah.
upper nines. So I was always only read with mostly Game Informer, so I always went by them. So I always saw it as like, oh, it's not as good as Gran
Oh
Turismo. So
yeah,
I'll be
this
like,
is
yeah,
inferior.
yeah, yes, yeah, because I was a play, I had a PlayStation, I was a
I
PlayStation
feel
guy,
like
so I was like,
even as a
oh,
GameCube guy back in the day, I looked at this and was like, nah, nice try. You're not going to be
yeah,
Gran
and look,
Turismo.
Edge gave it an 8 out of 10. Look at them, but look at the Metacritic. The Metacritic is 92 though.
Yeah.
Like Electronic Gaming gave it a 9.5, Eurogamer gave it a 9, GamePro gave it a all 5 stars. Game Revolution A minus, not yeah, like those were the low scores. Was the
Mhm.
8 and
Yeah,
8.5?
IGN a 9.5. Yeah, GameSpot
Yeah.
9.2.
So I think there were some people who are really high on this game. And honestly, if I played it, I wouldn't. I probably can tell the freaking difference between this. Only it was like, oh, I'm still crashing into walls. Like I'm still doing the
Yep.
same thing. I did. I did this game. This is before they had the rewind button. Um, Look at that. They got the Acura NSX on the front. Um, and a Nissan 350Z. Oh, I guess that's back there. This is the one behind it. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's man, I'm looking at this game and the graphics. I'm not comparing it now. I'm looking like it looked good, like for that time, man. No, I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
absolutely.
like it looks great. I'm just thinking, like when I looked at Gran Turismo on PlayStation, like it's rough looking, but I was so freaking amazed when I first saw that game.
Oh yeah.
Like, that game was incredible. Like, it's like, wow, why these cars look so real? Then I'm looking now, like, man, I used to think this shit looked real. I said back then, and I was like, man, it's just, it's it's crazy how much graphics have evolved. But now, if you think about it, it's like graphics haven't really changed much. It's really just all the stuff around what we used to. It's like the lighting and shadows and like that stuff is what's really making things more real. While the other layer stuff is like, hey, it looks similar to what we've seen before. Um, but now it's more like the animation looks a little like better or something like that. So it's like, yeah, because I think I remember always reading those stories like, hey, you can't, but graphics can only get to a limit because you only can get so much real, especially talking about realism, because you only can get so much real until it's real. It's like what you can't go from there. But it's really the creativity around stuff, how you use stuff, is really what makes it like really noticeable in games now. Is how they do it. The real stuff is still good because, like I said, the shadows and stuff it's gotten better and it can get better and like to make things really good. But then I always think, and then it's like, do the games if you had, if you had to spend a lot of money on that, I'll be like, man, it's not worth it. It's not really worth it
Yeah.
because it's like all depends how you're playing this game. Like if I'm playing a game slow like a movie or something where I'm really looking around, then yeah, maybe you do that. But if I'm like moving super fast and stuff, I am not looking to see how that shadow moving. Yeah, you could have fucked up and missed the shadow, and I wouldn't know because that's not what my focus is. Um, but even though like AI just generates that stuff, automatically now and stuff, so makes that easier. All right, what else we got here? We got Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith came out 20 years ago. Now, this game was not, well, at least in Game Informer, it was not rated that well, I believe. I think it gave a pretty low score. I still bought it because I was really interested in the Star Wars lore. And plus,
Yeah.
the whole thing of you know, the lightsabers, man. Come on.
Heck
It's
yeah.
like
No,
it was like
absolutely. I played
no
this
other Star Wars game except for the Lego one I just bought. I just bought like a few weeks ago from that time. Um, and so I was like, you know what? It looks like when I seen the screenshots and stuff, I was like, it looks all right. It's like I'll get it. It's like it may not be great, but I'll get it. Yeah, because Game Informer gave it a 5.75.
Mm, rough.
They were pretty low because looking at this, well, the 60s, like 60s, the DS and Game Boy Advance ones got 70s. I guess were they
Oh
2D?
yeah, I had the DS one. It was a 2D like beat 'em up basically, and
Okay,
it looked
so
awesome.
yeah, so it is probably easier to make at least a decent game out of that.
Yeah,
Um,
I
but
want to say it was
I
probably made
really
by like Way Forward or somebody. The way it looks.
but yeah, I played the hell out of this game. I remember my friend, he held this game for a while because he used to go to college, so he'll have it for a bit. But I remember he was playing the hell out of this game. But yeah, I used to because I played this before the movie because I ain't seen that movie till that Saturday. This game came out. I want to say the Thursday or the Tuesday of that week.
So, yeah,
Um,
probably Tuesday back then.
yeah, because because I don't know if they forced them to put it on the day of the game. I mean, of the
Yeah.
movie. I'm not sure. It says May 5th. Well,
Oh
was May
yes, may the
5th,
5th be with you.
2005. Um, but yeah. So May the 5th. Yeah. Um, exactly. They couldn't just put it. Well, I guess that wasn't a thing then, right? May
I
4th.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember hearing it then because I would be like, yeah, just put that shit on the 4th. But
Yeah,
yeah,
May 5th was a Thursday in
the Thursday, yeah.
2005.
So they say they forced them to put on the same day as the movie, even though they ain't forced the Lego, but I guess they said, nah, they ain't talking or nothing. So
Yeah.
it's not too spoilery.
Plus the
And
novelization's out already.
yeah. So I played that game and it kind of like changed things up from the movie because I know like you fought Mace Windu as Anakin, and I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be a fight scene in a movie where you fought Mace Windu, and the way he died, I was a little pissed. I was like, oh my god, what
They didn't
happened?
want to just do a QTE where you push them out the window.
um yeah, and we don't was this I don't think it was. It was a single player game, right? Yeah, it's a single player. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, you could play as Anakin and or Obi-Wan. I think yeah, I think those only two characters you played as. I don't know. Maybe you played as Yoda somewhere. I have no I think maybe you did. It says with the successful completion of specific missions in a single player campaign, bonus scenarios can be unlocked. Each scenario features a different playable character. Oh yeah, you played as Magna Guard. Must be some type of Jedi or bad guy. General Grievous, I know him. Yoda, Anakin, or Darth Vader. In addition, there are 4 cooperative missions in which 2 players or 1
Oh.
player with a control. Oh, so there was a 2-player thing in there. Work together to defeat enemies. The first 3 team Anakin and Obi-Wan for many offensive encounters with separatist droid, almost like a horde mode, that's kind of thing.
Mhm.
Droid army, while the 4th has Jedi Master Than Drawling, and his favorite student Sarah Cato. I think I remember that teaming up with defeat the Clone Squadron. I remember doing something with some other weird Jedi dude. Because I remember, that Padawan. Um, like doing the Order of 66. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, they had that little story thing. See, that would have been paid DLC today, Daniel.
Yeah.
That would not have been on. Yeah, or it would have been on a disc, but you just have to pay to unlock it. But yeah, man. This game, I mean, I found it fun. Even though, yeah, it had its problems. I mean, um, it wasn't a great game or anything. And like, I guess like technically, it probably was a bad game, but for me, I enjoyed it. This slicing dudes up lightsaber, going through the movie scenes and
Yeah.
stuff like that. It was good enough for me then. Um, so yeah, that was. I mean, that's why I really want to mention it. And I'm sure it sold pretty damn well because it's the popularity of Star Wars. And like I said, wasn't that many Star Wars games um really out right at that time. I mean Star Wars, I mean they had games that come out though. But like around this, like this is the biggest one. That and the Lego one. The Lego one was really a surprise. And like that just boost up Lego, like those games. Uh Yeah. So that's not it really. We got two more things to announce. Not games though, but Bandai. This is still in 2005. Bandai acquired Namco 20 years ago for $1.7 billion.
I hate that it was 20 years ago, Dominic. It
So
feels
Bandai,
like
like,
not that long ago.
I don't know, did Bandai already get into games or not at this time? Like they already had some games that already did publish before they got with
Yeah, I think
Namco.
they had already published some
Okay,
stuff at that point.
yeah, but I always just known them as basically like a toy company. That's what I always remember them
Yeah.
as. Like 'cause I remember Power Rangers and other stuff being with them. But yeah. So this news, I didn't really take much from this at the time or anything. Like they got Namco. It's like okay, that's good. All I know was Pac-Man and a few things. I mean, and then I always forget Tekken's part of them, but I never really think about it. That in the game you like, what's the sword game, the sword fighting game? What's it called?
Shido Blade?
No, the one that's like Tekken.
Oh,
The little bit,
Calibur.
yeah, Soul Calibur. Yeah, I forget
Yeah.
that they're Namco.
Duh.
But so yeah, but this is actually a big partnership. I mean, Bandai Namco is one of the big publishers now. I mean, hell, you got the Dark Souls stuff, and with them. There's a lot of Japanese,
Yeah.
games have gone under them since they had been established. Also, Activision acquired Toys for Bob, which we know Toys for Bob for is basically starting off the toy games, the Skylanders,
Mhm.
which started the toys. What's it called? Toys of Life or whatever. What is that? What the hell was that? What was that
Yeah,
called?
Toys to Life, I guess, is
Oh yeah.
what called it. Yeah.
But they basically started it off from there. But now they're just kind of been sucked up into the Call of Duty engine, and then later
Yep.
on, I have no
And then
idea what's going on
spit
with
out.
Microsoft with them. Like I don't know if
They left. They got their autonomy, but now they're working on a project for Microsoft, which people suspect is either Spyro or Crash, but most likely Spyro.
it should be Banjo. I mean, either
It should be
I
it should be Banjo, Dominic. I don't know how big
need,
a team they have if they could be working on two games at once, but Jesus Christ, I wish they would make a Banjo game.
but yeah. So and then yeah, they did some other games. Did they work? Did they do the Crash Bandicoot game?
They did. I think they ported like the latest one or something to one of the
Okay,
systems.
so they just ported. They didn't actually um develop the remake.
No, I
All
don't
right.
think so.
Okay. So yeah, but they're really known for the Skylander stuff. Like that's what I remember. And starting off, people buying toys and putting with the
Oh no, I'm
games.
sorry. They did. They were the ones that did It's About Time, Crash 4.
Oh, okay, all right,
They
all right.
ported the Insane trilogy to the Nintendo
And same
Switch.
trilogy. Okay, but they actually
Yeah,
did do something. Okay. So
but they did
yeah,
the
they worked
Spyro
on
Reignited trilogy and the Crash
basically
Bandicoot.
the only other games that was at that time being made by Activision because all they did was Call of Duty.
Yeah, and then they made more Call of Duty.
All right, so that is it for the flashback segment. So, now we got covers.
Yeah.
Yes, I was about to leave. So now we got covers. So when we're going to start with no covers apparently for 2015. They all sucked apparently.
No,
I'm sorry,
yeah.
Daniel. You
Sorry.
highlight the
Yeah,
ones we don't do.
I reverse highlighted. Sorry.
No. Actually, I don't even remember, Daniel. I don't even remember how you did.
I think
But
usually
yes,
I do green for the ones we're gonna do, but I did red for
yeah.
the ones to get rid of this time.
All right. So now we are going to 2015, 10 years ago, on the cover of Xbox official Xbox magazine. Rise of the Tomb Raiders on the front. Lara Croft is on the front.
Yeah.
Exclusive access. This is when it was exclusive to the Xbox for a year, and they
Yeah.
spoiled it though. They told people like we were exclusive to the console for the year, so it will be on the PlayStation next year. So it's like, what the fuck was the point of exclusive, man? You
So
telling
nobody
them
bought it then, and nobody bought it when it came out on PlayStation either, according to Square.
Well, scoring is square, yeah, but I think
Yeah.
it's still. I think it's sold. Bows, Blizzards, Bears, Laura Croft's journey to become the new face of Xbox One, and yeah, not much. I mean, no, the game is great. That is nothing with
Yeah,
her. It's
that's
just
the
that,
unfortunate thing.
it's just it didn't do nothing. It did not move the needle. I believe on the Xbox.
No.
If the needle was new, it was very minimal, very minimal. Um, Just Cause 3, hands on with the shooter that reinvents open world action. Darn, this is not even 4 yet, and like I'm seeing 4 all the time on like the sales stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, you got Rock Band 4 up here. How Harmonix is
Yeah.
getting the band back together. It's like we could do it. We're still good. And it probably is good. It's just that
Yeah, it
you
was
missed you
good.
missed the
It was
weight.
I mean,
It,
part of the problem was like the device compatibility, right? Like all the stuff from the 360 that I had didn't really work with the Xbox One, and then when they came out with adapters for it, the drum adapter specifically ended up being like ridiculously rare and therefore overpriced, and like I still don't have a way to combine that stuff, and that's why I never ended up, going deep into like Rock Band 4.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate. It's just one of those things that it's like it had its time. It had its moment in time. It just couldn't. It just didn't last. It was like it just didn't last with the people. I don't know. I mean, I wish, but I think also licensing really hurt stuff like that too. Because
Oh yeah.
maybe like if they had like, oh, like we still put up digital stuff and everything, and you still could get this music old, but it's like darn, like you can't even sell. They can't even sell the old stuff because they're like, oh, I got to renew the license with this rock band group or the singer or whatever, and it's like, damn, it's like I always hated things like that.
Yeah.
Because it's like I forgot what game. It was like a game, and because it had the music up there or something. Like it just makes things so complicated, and yeah, it kind of sucks. But I mean, I get that those guys they want to get their money too, because like if you're getting money from it and like you're using my music, it's like I get it, but I don't know. Yeah. Um. All right. So what else they got up here? Fable Legends. Um. And oh yeah, Lionhead's free to play future. Yeah, that
Yeah, we'll
that
see how
never
that works.
happened. Halo 5 Guardians. Yeah, they did change the title.
Yeah, we'll see how that worked.
Dude, 343 Industries talks multiplayer changes. Final Fantasy 15, the world bigger and the hairs pointier. Pointier. Um, Also, what else? Yeah, also inside, Evolve reviewed. What's next for Bethesda? Best asymmetric game. Smite hits Xbox One. State of Decay hands on. Now, this is going to be the bad Final Fantasy 15, right? That until they redo
Ah,
it.
yes. When
And
did Realms Reborn come?
oh shit, no, my fault. 14 is the online one.
Right.
Right. So 15,
This was
okay, 15 is a
15,
regular one. So yeah,
which
Xbox
is the
never got
car one, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
Xbox, that's because I was very confused because I was about to say like I thought they didn't get it yet. They just got it. I said they just got it like
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
couple
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
ago. So I was very confused. So it's like yeah, okay, they didn't get the online one. They just got 15 because the only online one they did get was 11. Like early like 360 got it. I wonder if those servers are even still up. Mean like the console servers, like or did they
Yeah.
still service with the PC? I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, yes, that's that cover. Where are we at here? Edge magazine. Oh yeah, I like this cover. Splatoon. You got the eyes of the squid on the front. It's a nice. They've been doing some nice covers on Edge.
They really
Uh,
do.
Splatoon. How Nintendo is reinventing the multiplayer shooter. Oh, also talking about Final Fantasy 15. The JRPG levels up. Um,
Disagree.
Yoshinori Ono on the revival of Street Fighter. It it died. I mean, they had 4. I don't know. I mean, like,
And it was definitely kind of a, return to form, right? When that next one came out.
I thought the return of form was between 3 and 4. I thought 4 was it. I always thought it was like, because I always thought Street Fighter was dead. Well, not really dead, but like after when 3, like I didn't really care. I mean, I didn't care about it, and I didn't really hear nobody really talking about it. I think I wasn't in that space because I didn't really hear nobody talk about Street Fighter like that. And then 4 came out.
Did Street Fighter 4 really come out in 2008? I hate that, Dominic. That feels like so long ago now.
Yeah, and then Street Fighter 5. Now I felt like it regressed.
It was actually initially a downturn. Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right.
Until they eventually made a full game after like 5 years since it's been out. I mean, it's been out because they kept adding stuff to make it an official, like a full game. They reviewed Bloodborne, Battlefield, Hardline, Hotline Miami 2, Ori and the Blind Forest, and Axiom Verge. Oh, VR head to head, Valve versus Sony. Oh, I guess not Oculus Rift. Okay.
It's before they mattered, Dominic.
Yeah, about to say that they're the only ones left.
Yeah.
All right. What we got here? Game Informer. Oh, this is a nice cover. Deus Ex Mankind Divide. This is a game I still have not played. I need to play. I love Deus Ex Human Revolution. That game was great. I never did play Mankind Divided, and it's really because of the reviews. The reviews were kind of they weren't as high.
Yeah.
So I kind of was like, I'll wait and try it out later. Like I would say, I'll wait to buy it, and I eventually got it free, but just didn't have the time play it. But still, like, yeah, I mean, it was okay video game. But yeah, this cover looks all right. Cyberpunk thriller where player choice defines the world. This is another game that did not sell to Square Enix expectations, I believe. And now the series is definitely in limbo, or you just gotta, I mean, we'll see if sometime in the future something happens. Yeah. All right. So that's it for 2015. So now we're going back 20 years to 2005, Nintendo Power, and we got the DS, the original DS up here, the future of handheld games.
That beautiful console, Dominic.
You got the 10 dogs. That was so popular, and that's the right thing to do. Yes, dogs, not cats. We got Age of Empire 2, the Age of Kings. Oh yeah, strategy games.
How wild really good that game was on that. Yeah.
And you got Castlevania DS. Did you have this one? Is this the one I let you let me hold? I know I played a DS one. I forgot.
I definitely had this one. Yeah, I think I had a couple of them on the DS. I think.
Meteos. What is this, like a Tetris game?
Yeah, I remember Meteos being pretty big, like that, and Luminous or whatever. Like those were like the big successors to, Tetris on these portables. And Meteos
what game is
the. Sorry, I was just gonna say the DS launch lineup was pretty sparse, and I remember Meteos being like one of the games that everybody was like, "This is the one you gotta play." I think I tried it; it just didn't hit for me really.
It was a Tetris for you.
Wasn't Tetris enough.
But what is this game right here?
On the screen, it's GoldenEye.
GoldenEye. Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, it really is.
Because I think it was the new GoldenEye that they came out with.
Oh wow, he did the double wielding. He going double wield a machine gun and a pistol. Like the kickback alone from the machine gun should just make you just miss everything. Like you just. All right. So yeah, that's Nintendo Power. Is there anything else I need to say? Oh, Zelda, all new screens. I guess that's for the Wii version.
This is the Zelda we wanted. Dominic, the mature Zelda.
I keep forgetting. Yeah, it came on GameCube also, which
is
the Wii version was backwards. He was right-handed, right? and he's usually left-handed.
Right. Yep.
Because of the remote. All right. So yes, that is Zelda. Yep. The people did not like Zelda. The cell shaded Zelda. Even though that was, to me, that's the best one. All right. So what else we got here? We got the official Xbox magazine 20 years ago. And look at this. World exclusive revealing Half-Life 2. Thing is, Half-Life 2 did not come on the Xbox. I didn't even know it was even like that was a thing that it was potentially coming to the Xbox. But it did come to the on the orange box, which came to the Xbox 360. So yes, Xbox technically did get it, but not on that console. Yeah, I mean, good that it didn't. You would have got a really low grade version. I mean, it still technically is low grade on 360, but hey, it was good for me. It was because that was the only way I was going to play that game. Everybody said it was like one of the greatest games ever. Also, they got Star Wars Battlefront 2 up here. Yeah, that was Star Wars Battlefront 2. The memory of me playing that, like, I thought it was just so awesome that, like, just fighting as ground troops and then going to space, or you'd be able to going in your spaceship or whatever, the X-wing or TIE fighter, and shooting things like. That was awesome. And like, I ain't playing with nobody. I mean, this is before I can play games online. I was just playing with the bots. And it seemed like people did not want to do bots anymore for a while, Daniel. Like they like they just stopped. I was like, why? Why'd you stop the bots? Now they do. I mean, like Call of Duty lets you do that, bots and everything. I don't think the latest Star Wars though. They still didn't let you do bots in the Battlefront. Let me see. Full Spectrum Warrior 2.0. Oh, they had it too. We blow the doors off all new multiplayer mode.
Remember that.
Psychonauts, Xbox Best Platformer 9.5.
Oh yeah.
And new Halo 2 multiplayer maps revealed. What we got here? We got Game Informer 2005. They got The Warriors, the Rockstar game that was based off the old movies in the 70s. That I knew nothing about this movie until this game came out. I didn't know what The Warriors was. And I did watch it. I got the game. I think I borrowed the game. I don't think I bought it. And the game was all right. It was a nice beat 'em up and everything. And then it was cool, like, especially after seeing the movie and like how they implemented stuff in the movie with the game and how to change things up. It was fun. I mean, this is like, it's like are we ever going to see anything like this again? Like this thing, like Rockstar making a game about the Warriors that was a cult movie. It wasn't like a popular movie. It was a cult movie. It was, like I said, barely nobody like knew it was.
The two Housers or whatever were just like, this is our favorite movie. We're going to make this game.
And like for them to do, they made this and it was turned out to be a good game.
Yeah.
And like, they're never going, well, they definitely never going to do that again. They're just making Grand Theft Auto and maybe Red Dead Redemption.
Maybe Red Dead Redemption. Yeah.
And I mean, who's to say? I mean, I don't know. They could be done with Red Dead, honestly. Like, maybe they move on to something else. If they are, I'm curious. Like, if they do another game, will it even be a Red Dead, or will they actually do what people have been asking for almost 20 years? A bully game.
Bully, the college years.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's gonna be so weird because I'm so far removed for what kids do that it will be all like I couldn't relate to probably some of the things to do.
Just
like
gonna be knocking phones out of kids' hands over and over again.
Like the concept of like teachers emailing you is weird to me. Like I don't want contact with teachers. That like any contact with teachers outside of school is like that's a bad thing. Usually, it's like oh something I must do something wrong. Like that's the only reason they would even
unless
call
you see
my
him
house.
at the strip club, Dominic.
Like I never, I never wanted to see my teachers outside of school, like or in be in any type of contact with them.
Oh yeah,
Um,
they're not human beings, Dominic. We don't
yeah,
we don't
exactly.
associate with them. They're robots that work inside the school, and if they have outside lives, then my life has been ruined by them.
Yeah, I was like, wow, that is yeah. I was like, man, that is so different. I mean, it makes sense and stuff like that. But I'm just not. Yeah, I didn't have. We didn't do things like that. Not everybody had a computer. I
Yeah.
mean, not that everybody has a computer now, but a lot of people they have phones. So I
Mm.
mean, they had something do it, but like more people, it's definitely more people have computers or something other like a laptop or something at home. Um, but yeah, but it's like still like a new like computers was people weren't even like everybody wasn't even comfortable using it. That's the thing. Like I remember just going to the library and people like typing with their one finger, and it's like it's like it was darn that's only like 20 plus years ago, but it's like now is even if you don't have a computer at home, you learned at school. They teach you everything at school. It's like only some people got taught in my age range, like who got taught like they had classes. Like it wasn't even like a requirement for the schools to teach. I think now it's gotta be. I mean, you can't get through life without. Um but yeah, the Warriors. But back to the Warriors, yeah, it's just so yeah. It's so weird that this game was even made, but like, man, it was pretty good. Now, did it ever come to PC?
I don't think so.
Oh, darn. So it's I want to say, was there a 360 version or PS3 version, or this is it? This is like the only way to play it. Is this has become a cult game, right? It's basically.
Yeah, I think so.
Damn, I gotta put video game. I keep getting like Warriors
Oh,
basketball team.
jeez.
Yeah, it will came on PSP. Damn, that's it.
That's the
So
way
the
to
only
play.
way, the only way to, I mean, man, that screen, man, looks sharp as shit. It probably does look pretty nice. The only way to play it is like emulation if you don't have those consoles.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't port it over.
Now they have PS4 on this list. I wonder if it's an online game that's available to play. Let's see,
Oh,
PlayStation Store.
it is like one of those games that's like PS2 streaming. Like
Yeah.
you,
Well, not
like I
streaming,
went.
but it looks like you can play it on the PS4 for $9. It's on sale down from 15 right now.
Oh, you actually can download it. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm
Now,
surprised.
if I bought that for PS4, could I play it on a PS5? Oh,
I don't
wait.
know.
What does it say here? When playing on PS5, the game may exhibit errors or unexpected behavior, and some features available on PS4 may be absent. To play this game on PS5, your system may need to be updated to the latest hardware. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, so I guess you can theoretically play it in this day and age on a PS5.
And you know what? Maybe is it free? Like if you put a PS Plus,
Let's see
one
if
of those
I
tiers.
sign in here.
Darn, man, yeah, and I
Ba-ba-ba.
might
It
try
still
that
just
out.
says add to cart, so no.
What? Oh my god, that's what the hell. All right. Oh, the Apocalypse game is coming. X-Men Legends 2. That game was long. Like it was a good game. It was a very it was long. I mean, it was that's why I remember it. I remember Foot had it, and because we played the first one, and this one, it was no, it was still a great game, but I was like, man, it was definitely long. Like it was a lot of content in that game, and yeah, it was great though. I really enjoyed it. Exclusive first look at Call of Duty Big Red 1. I think technically I did play this, but I think I kind of just rushed through it. I think I bought it from GameFly or one of those places like that, and because I don't really remember it, but I think I actually did like put it on my list to borrow, and I think I did.
Hmm.
I know I didn't get rated all that well. I mean, I think it was rated okay. I don't think it was rated. It's definitely not as good as the. Well, I'm just talking about the console game, not the PC one. It definitely wasn't rated as well as the first console Call of Duty. The Master of Horror, George A. Romero presents City of the Dead. I don't remember this game. But you got what's got here? Shocking new details and screens of SSX4. I forget about that one. I remember 3 a lot, even though I didn't really play it because it was. I remember it quickly got on sale. It was, and I always looked at it. It's like it's only $20. Say I should get it. And I was like, but I always used to see it. I don't really remember 4 though. I think the one I played the most was the first one. Like Tricky, it came. I mean, that was on because that was on Xbox and GameCube, but I had played SSX and Turn. I never got, and they didn't ever call it SSX2, right? They just say Tricky. This considered Tricky as the 2. Is that what they
Yeah, I
did?
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember there ever being a 2 behind it.
Yeah, because they said that some stages from 1 was in there. So see, I always thought it was just a spinoff. Like, so I didn't really care much for Tricky. I was like, oh, I mean, say just a few new levels. I was like, I already got the game. All right, what we got here? Is that it? Oh, yes, that's it. For 2005. So now we're going to 1995, 30 years ago, to Electronic Gaming Monthly. And we got Shiva on the front. Look at this beautiful 4-armed woman. She said, "Do you want to arm wrestle?" No, but I do some other type of wrestling. Yeah, yes, man, you can still arm wrestle her. Just better be one arm. I mean, just that's the rules.
His arms don't even look that strong, Dominic.
Yeah. All right. So you got 10 sizzling pages, I'm guessing, of MK3, exclusive moves, incredible fatalities. I remember my friend, yeah, he was really into like that name, my friends and elementary school, Billy. Well, that was his short name. I think it's Billy Amin. He's not Nigerian. He well, he was born here. He's his father. I think his father was not, his father is Nigerian. He was really into Mortal Kombat, man. I remember because I remember his house. I think I want to say I came over when I was in middle school one time over his house and they had 3 on one of their systems and shit. But yeah, he used to just go all deep into the lore and stuff. And man, I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. But but I mean, I enjoyed the conversation and stuff because I mean, I like watching the games, but I didn't really get into it. Well, first of all, I think when I asked for my birthday, I couldn't get it because my parents, they watched the fucking news and then talk about how violent those games were. So I just didn't.
Darn it, Tipper Gore.
Yeah, so I just didn't care anymore about it. I said, fine. Then I just lost all care. Like only my friend across the alley who used to play it, like he'll still talk about, but he was a Street Fighter guy. Like he was a hardcore Street Fighter. And yeah, he was damn freaking good at it. Like Street Fighter. Like he would always play on the hardest difficulty and just be going through it. And I was like, man, how the hell you do that? And his brother and me would always try to play against him to beat him. His brother would get closer to beat him definitely than I could, but he couldn't get his brother. Yeah, well, his brother. Like I think he even bought the game they bought the game himself because he was older. He was like he was like an adult. Like while Issa was in high school and I was like in middle school. Like I was early middle school, so he ended up buying a game just to practice against them. But I think he just liked it too. But yeah, man, they used to just go hard against each other. What else I got here? Previews inside: Stellar Assault, Grand Chaser, Stargate, Ruiner. I just named like 2 games, Ruiner and Stargate are the only games I can know. I don't know where Grand Chaser or Stellar Assault is.
Yeah.
The Ooze, I might know. But the only ooze I really know is Ninja Turtles. Blackfire. I heard of that before. VR Racing. Is there was a game on Sega called, I think, Virtual Racing.
Yeah.
And I believe I played that. And like, it was this polygonal racing game, basically. Like, of course, it's not really VR. But it's like polygonal racing, kind of like Virtual Fighter. But like racing, like I used to thought it was so cool because I used to think like, oh man, this looks so awesome. These racing these cars looking like this, like these polygons of cars. You're racing them. I think it was like F1 cars in it. Space Hawk is I don't think that's what I want it to be, which is Hawk in space. Skeleton Crew. Wow. I feel like I should hear something like that. That's an interesting name. Daytona's, I guess for the Saturn.
Yeah.
Which I had played. And Wing Commander 3. But Daytona, yeah. I remember that was part of that deal. I think it was Daytona, Knights, and what was the third game? What was the other game?
Oh,
Virtual
what
Fighter.
was
Was it
the
Virtual
other game?
Fighter? Was it
That
Virtual
sounds
Fighter?
right.
Yeah, that was like the deal for Sega Saturn. Like when there was like, hey, get Sega Saturn, you get these 3 games. And I remember, yeah, because my dad told me, because it's like between N64, PlayStation, and Sega Saturn, he was saying like, hey, you Sega Saturn, you get these 3 games already with the system. But man, that Mario though, like I Mario 64, I was like, nah, I wanted Mario 64. Like I wanted that game. It looked too good. I was like, none like that. Say none on Sega Saturn looks like that.
Nah, that was my only experience with the Saturn, was playing it at the kiosk next to the 64 at like Target or whatever. And I'm like, Knights, what is this trash compared to what I'm playing over here?
Up, man. Yeah,
It's true. Knights is
the
bad.
Disrespect.
Even when it came back on the 360.
There was a Christmas Nights, Daniel. Come on, man.
Yeah, disrespected Santa too, and Jesus. Like, it's ridiculous. Yeah, I remember when it came out for the 360 and going like, oh man, like maybe I was secretly a little jealous. I want to give this a try. And then I was like, no, this is bad. This is still bad.
Yeah, I couldn't really play it, man. I didn't understand it. I think that's what it is, Dan. It's too smart for us.
Maybe that's
All right. So the last cover here, Game Informer, back at 30 years ago. You got Gex on the front, which is funny because this is the anniversary coming up, and they have a game like a trilogy anniversary pack coming up. I don't know. I think it's the limited run stuff, so it's not like the actual like it's not like actual developers who are like working, or it doesn't seem like they put like I didn't see like big improvements or nothing. Like did they put any quality?
No, I don't think they're doing that. I think it's pretty much just like emulation on the back end.
Yeah, because that's what I was hoping. Like, is like they have hardware. Like, oh, you can just save anywhere or do something. Like,
I would hope they're at least doing that. It's like save anywhere type stuff.
Yeah. Well, the Gex, the only one I played was 2. That's the one I got. And I remember I got that. It was on sale. And I said, yeah, I'll get this game. Dad said, get a game. And I think it's to give me a price range. And I said, I'll get this one. Into the Gecko. And yeah, man, that was me. I had a fun time with it. All right. Especially when I found the cheats to skip levels and stuff. When I like hard. But I thought it was funny, like he was saying those little quips and stuff. I never played the first one because I never knew what the I think I've seen it because I remember it was the 3DO. Yes, Gex, the Gecko. Yeah. With that team makes his debut on 3DO. I always associated 3DO with Gex. I just think like, oh, that's their mascot. I just think that.
Exactly.
Also, Primal Rage, GI previews, Time Warner's multi-system monster. Plus Tekken, Quarantine, World Series Baseball 95, and Saturn and PlayStation previews, and the first hands-on MK3, and Eternal Champions up here. That's that funny game that was on Sega. Yeah.
Fake Mortal Kombat.
So $3.95, man. $3.95 for this magazine. Man, that was a lot of money back then.
Still is for a magazine.
All right. So
same magazine costs $12 now.
I was about to say, Daniel, like I couldn't even see myself buying it. If a magazine came close to double digits, I can't even see myself buying it.
Yeah.
it would have to
I
be like some
remember
type of
looking at them when they were like $8 and being like, "Oh my goodness, this is."
like
I don't
it
know
had to
if
be
I can
some
do this
super
anymore.
special edition in this swimsuit. All right. All right. So that's it. So we'll take a quick break where we get back. We get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. So let's get to the gaming news. What we got?
All right. First up, Dominic, is it was kind of a rough week about a week ago for some, about a week ago for a couple of games outlets. First up, Giant Bomb has been going through another round of kind of weirdness. It's had, its ups and downs ever since the original kind of cast left. And in my opinion, it's been pretty good as of late. But two of the main people there producing content, Jeff Grubb and Dan Reichert, have apparently come to a head with fandom. The owners of Giant Bomb and GameSpot and a whole bunch of other properties. They're kind of a wiki. They make wikis. And apparently there was some issue that the leadership over there had with what Giant Bomb was putting out as far as their content goes. The guys at Giant Bomb ended up putting out a podcast that kind of made fun of the brand safety rules of their parent company, which then got taken down. And then following that, there's been a lot of weirdness. I believe Jeff Grubb has confirmed that he is no longer with fandom, and Dan Reichert has just kind of been radio silent after a Twitch stream where he basically said he was no longer going to, do any more work with them. But it has not been confirmed whether he's actually departed the company or not. They actually ran a preview that he had done for Death Stranding 2, where he went out to Japan this past week, following kind of all this drama. So with that said, everybody's been kind of calling this the death of Giant Bomb. This past Tuesday, they did not release a Giant Bomb cast, which has pretty much been a given ever since the company started. Even when one of the co-founders, Ryan Davis, had passed away, they did a podcast that week talking about that. And it has been a frequent, it has been a kind of permanent fixture in my life since kind of the beginning of jumping on board on that stuff. So it's been really weird. Now,
Did you say the beginning of your life?
Since the beginning of maybe, I don't know, since the beginning of me starting to listen to it is what I was trying to say. Because I didn't start listening to it when they first popped up. I want to say like you and me talking about it, talking about like Brad talking about StarCraft or something was when I really first kind of started looking into them and whatnot.
I because when I first started listening to podcasts, they were one of the first ones that came up when I put video games, and like it was them and who was the guy who was there who passed away?
Brian Davis.
Brian Davis, yeah. When Brian Davis was there, because then I told you, and I don't know if you had listened to it or you maybe you knew of them, but you weren't really talking about them, and then you started listening to them because I started listening to a lot of other people too. It was a lot of podcasts, yes. And then as time went on, they were probably one of my favorite ones, but also they're the ones that lasted longer than the other people's too.
Yeah, because that would have been around the time of like the 1UP show and stuff like that too, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I was listening to those shows. God darn, man, that was the Wild West of podcasting.
Oh yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
that was the time. There's gonna be a thing of this is when the podcasters blew up. It was just everywhere, and then they died down, and now it's just like a conglomerate thing of. See, this is when there was really no advertisements.
That was exactly.
There was a time when advertisement wasn't a thing. Then the advertisements start coming in. Money start coming in, Daniel.
Yeah. And it sounds like, that's maybe part of this story. Jeff Gerstmann, formerly of Giant Bomb, one of the founders, he's out on his own now after having been fired. A couple of years ago
So he
now, I
was
think it was
fired.
3
He
years
didn't
ago.
leave.
He had planned on leaving, and it sounds like either they had found out that he had planned on leaving and let him go, or something like that. Yeah, but he was let go, which he was actually appreciative of because it meant a big difference in his severance pay. And that's, I think, like one of the things with Dan Reichert is like, it sounds like he wasn't necessarily going to quit, but he would have happily let them fire him. Now, like, an added wrinkle to this is PAX East is this weekend as of recording this. And probably
They have
by
a
the time
panel.
this goes, they had a panel scheduled.
Oh man.
And Jeff Grubb has his own show, Game Mess. Less Than 10 Dogs and Game Mess Decides. He's got 2 podcasts with one of the guys that they had brought in to kind of collaborate while they didn't have that big a staff, Mike Minotti. So he, on Tuesday on their Less Than 10 Dogs show, had said, like, he can't really talk about what's going on with this panel, but like, things have, they had an agreement and they're just trying to, best handle it. Now, yesterday on Friday, him, Dan Reichert, Jeff Bacalar, who is with Giant Bomb, used to be with Giant Bomb East, in CNET, but he's kind of like he's kind of the suit now at Giant Bomb. I think he's like like the manager there. Them and the official Giant Bomb account all said, hey, we're going to be at PAX, watch out for this panel at 7:00 tomorrow. So, and also Jan Ochoa, who it's been radio silent with him. He's been a producer. At this point, he's been the one that's been there at Giant Bomb the longest. But he does a lot of the behind the scenes production stuff as well as on screen content stuff. They all posted about this. So now people are speculating like, oh, did they somehow get the IP for Giant Bomb and they're going to go off and do this thing independently? Is because there was also some stuff about how, all these guys had followed this new brand name that, maybe they're going to be starting, but they can't currently talk about it until like, some kind of like 90-day no compete or something like that is up. So there's just like a lot of weirdness surrounding it right now. But this also all happened on the same day, like kind of officially on the same day as Polygon, who got sold to a new company. And along with that, there were massive layoffs. I think like pretty much the top echelon of all the people that were there running the company are now out. And it sounds like there's a good chance that this may be going down the route of some of the other things that it owns, which I think is like Games Radar and The Gamer, where it's all kind of like SEO, AI assisted content where it's like, oh, you type in your browser like, oh, I want Zelda, and it's like, Zelda 50 things you didn't know about this game that
Yeah.
hasn't even been announced or
And the thing you
exists,
look at on your phone, where like if
yeah,
for Android phones where you see the Google
yep,
headlines, yeah,
exactly,
those type of articles.
yeah. So it seems kind of crazy that, in just the span of a week, we're seeing 2 of the last remaining, Polygon's actually kind of new. I mean, I think we started this podcast before Polygon,
Yeah,
like, debuted, didn't we? Like, that's kind of
yeah,
crazy to think
I
about.
want to say yes.
They spun out of The Verge and kind of had this like premium. We're gonna have games critique. We're gonna talk about games in a very smart manner, right? It's not just like, here's a preview, I thought the game was good, it's great. They'd have long articles about, like, what it made you feel, and the concepts behind this, and stuff like that. And it was nice having that in addition to all of the other stuff, because there wasn't really a space for that. Yeah, so we got that. And then there was also news that EA had also had a lot of layoffs at Respawn, one of the few companies that we thought maybe could be safe from this kind of stuff, because they have been working so heavily with, like, the Star Wars IP, which it's been successful.
Apex Legends.
Now, well, and that's kind of the problem, right? Is, like, maybe Apex Legends isn't at the high point that it was at one maybe kind of brief moment, in comparison to Fortnite. Of course, I'm sure they're still making money hand over fist, but, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't know that, but clearly not enough for EA, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or not enough for, sometimes it's not really about, like, how much money you're making. Is that, do you need this many people to keep servers going on? If you're like, or
right.
like, yeah, and content is like, how many people you need for that? Like, they probably maybe
content costs money.
Yeah.
So in order to keep that balance sheet going, that's unfortunate. I mean, obviously, I would imagine they are working on the next Star Wars Fallen Order game or Jedi Survivor game, and now to just hear that there's wide swaths of people at that company getting fired, it's nothing new. We've been talking about this for, at the very least, the past 3 years now. It seems like a lot of these companies staffed up a lot during the pandemic, thinking, people are going to be at home, they're going to be buying video games, but that's not going to last forever. Yeah, I think it just speaks to the world in gaming that we're in
And
right
what was
now.
it? I think these people said that they canceled the Titanfall 3 again. That they were working on it.
There were rumors that there was actually a pretty much not a feature complete, I guess, version of that game. Basically, so it was like, oh yeah, all the concepts are laid out, and they have a working game this time as far as Titanfall 3 goes. Now, I think I had also saw something about that being an extraction shooter. Like Bungie's doing with Marathon, and that whatever that game is, I can't think of it for some reason.
Hunt Showdown, I forgot what it's called.
That one, yeah, that one too. I'm thinking of like the Russian style one, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, Tarkov, that's what it is.
Okay.
I kept like hearing the name, hearing like a similar sound in my head, but I couldn't. Tarkov, yeah. So I don't think that's necessarily what people were looking for in a Titanfall 3. Now, it could be wrong, because we didn't know what we were looking for in Fortnite, right? And then all of a sudden that they turned that into a battle royale, and now it's the most successful game in the world. Now,
yeah,
is it what we want to play? Not necessarily, but it's what the market wanted, and maybe they could have gotten lucky with Titanfall 3 being that for the extraction shooter space, because I don't think that space has gotten its it hasn't gotten its Fortnite yet, right? Like, in a lot of ways, Tarkov feels like the PUBG to yeah, exactly. So, and I don't know, from the initial thoughts on Marathon, it doesn't seem like people are super excited about that, but I don't know that necessarily people were excited about Fortnite either. I remember at least us and
about
kind
when it was
of
initially
the people we followed, we just joked about it. It's like, oh, look at them stealing PUBG's, lunch, basically. Go back to making save the world mode. And here we are, with it being literally the biggest game in the world. So I don't know, man. This is the other big story, but it kind of relates, so I'm just going to jump to it in it because video games are in a real weird and I feel like kind of bad spot right now, Dominic, because we already saw with Nintendo $80 games and that being kind of a crushing aspect for the gaming community. And, Sony's raised prices all around the world, except for America. They kind of skirted that. I don't remember if I brought it up, but that's what it was the last time they raised the prices worldwide, was what they ended up doing was selling in America bundles with Horizon and raising the price that way, kind of subtly, where it was like, okay, but you can't just buy the system anymore. Here's the system with the game, and now it's $50 more or whatever. But now we just have Microsoft coming out and saying we have to raise the prices on the Xbox. We have to raise prices on the accessories, and we will be raising prices on the video games this year. Now, I don't know at what point they're going to decide the first $80 Xbox game, but I fully believe that Call of Duty will absolutely be $80. And if that's not the first one, I would be kind of surprised, to be honest with you.
Yeah, where would it be then? If it's not them.
Yeah, I feel like they have to make that move with that game. I don't think you come out with Fable, even though Fable's next year now, right? Or whatever you had this holiday season and say, oh yeah, this is going to be $80. So it's got to be Call of Duty. But, Xbox hardware was already suffering. People weren't buying that. And now for it to be even more, it's hard to, it was already hard to recommend it to anybody, but now it would be even harder to recommend it to anybody. And I guess I get it, right? Like what they're doing is, okay, the few people that will buy Xboxes are probably going to buy Xboxes anyway. So we might as well make more money off of them. Accessories, obviously people, I don't have an Xbox Series X, but I've got a controller, it's a good controller. And now that we've seen Xbox do it, I have no doubt Sony will not be far behind. My concern is with the price raising for games is going to be, that means Game Pass is going to go up again. And Game Pass is one of those things that I can kind of forget about how much it costs. And then when I'm reminded of how much it costs, I'm like, man, I'm glad at least Dominic's putting good use to this, because otherwise I don't know if
you told me how much. I was like, whoa, darn, it costs that much now.
Jeez. Yeah, and part of that is I don't know. Well, the streaming stuff is only with Ultimate, right?
Yeah, it's only
part of me is like, oh, we could just go PC version because we're playing these games on the PC. But even then, it's not saving that much money. But that's what scares me is the idea of like a $25 Game Pass or getting close to a $30 Game Pass. It's really discouraging to see everything. We already see it in quote unquote real life. Like everything's getting more expensive, but our hobby of choice is now pricing people out of the market. And what does that mean for video games in the future? What does that mean for my hobby in the future? You're going to have...
Yeah, because you're talking about things... Yeah, you're not talking about like a new console and just be expensive, like how Nintendo is like, oh, it's a new console out and is more expensive. You're talking about them raising prices of something that's current. Like electronics don't usually do that. Like they'll have to get a new iteration. Yeah, a new iteration may do that, but not the current iteration of electronics.
Yeah, we're 5 years into this. We should be seeing
especially
these things
one
on end caps
that's
going
not
for
doing
fire
well.
sale prices.
and one that's
Yes.
not doing well.
This is like if
That's
the
another weird thing.
Dreamcast was like, no, you know what? I think we're going to raise the price to $500.
Yeah. Like the console is like Xbox, the console itself is, yeah, it's only doing okay. Like the US, like it's way behind PlayStation overseas, and now
Yeah.
PlayStation I think is gaining a bigger lead now. I just read somewhere here, which I'm kind of wondering. Like I didn't click on the article because I'm kind of wondering what the date was. I say, was it close when they said they raised the price? It wasn't raised,
Yeah.
right? Was it that what it had? But yeah, it's yeah. Don't. I mean, as far as a consumer standpoint, it don't make sense. It must be like whatever's going on behind the scenes that they feel like raising the price, and they still is better to raise the price for them. Like that's scary kind of, because it's like what the hell? If raising the price of you and you're like in third place, like way behind third place, and like as far as consoles, like they're selling hardware, and that's better. What the hell? God damn! Like that is crazy.
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah, man. It's a weird time, man. It's a weird time.
I
Yeah.
would
I mean,
love to
it's a lot.
say like now is the time for people to go, okay, forget consoles. I'm just going to build a PC or buy a PC. But like that
That's
stuff
still
is
cheaper.
not.
It's still cheaper.
Yeah, it is. It is. And that's the scary part, especially because like this stuff comes out at like MSRP and then you can't find it anywhere at MSRP. Like
MSRP exactly. And even when you like, I was because I was trying to go through with my friend because he was asking like, because I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I see people say buy a PC, but I'm like, that's still a PC. You're not going to get a PC of the cost equivalent to what the Xbox Series
yeah.
X costs, even with $100 more. Like I looked online, it's like at the most, like you're going to get between $1,000 and like $1,200 maybe, and like
Yeah.
that's you probably shopping. Like you really trying to, you getting used parts.
Yeah.
You're not getting
Waiting
new
for
parts.
sales and things of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not getting new parts. If you get new parts, because then if you and then because if you think about it, those parts that probably make it equivalent for a Series X, then you're going to see the cost of what the upgrade like from those is like. Darn, it's not probably not worth me buying that because upgrades only a few maybe $100 more or something, but it's like it's better, more efficient because I know it will be updated for some years while this one will be stopped or whatever. It's like, yeah, it's still, like I said, like for people saying like buy a PC, like that's an investment. Like you spend time. It's not something like if you haven't, let's play this. If you're thinking like, man, this is real expensive, this console, the PC is still expensive. Like that's a bigger investment. I mean, yes, I mean it you could do a whole lot more with the PC than, and yeah, that's true. But if it's just the money part of it, then yeah, it's console still cheaper, and it's still, and if you're a person who don't want to deal with like just stuff like I had to go through with my PC, like you don't want to have to deal with stuff like that, like figure it out if it's something go wrong or whatever, or fixing up and upgrading. Console's still better. It's like it's cheaper and it's more convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still is. Like, yeah, the things that's now the things they do now is kind of some of the pieces like with updates and stuff, but that's not something you have to go into freaking hardware or something mess with. You know, you just do it.
You're not dismantling anything at all. No.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even something like, they had the Xbox Series S as kind of like, here's our budget friendly thing at $300. Now, even then I thought that was maybe on the high side of things. Because what I had really wanted was something that was more like just get this into consumers' houses, especially with like the streaming aspect of it now and building out Game Pass. But now that's $380. And then on the top end, you have the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X that was $600 already. That's now $730. That's more than a PS5 Pro. So there is
Yeah.
like no justification for buying that thing whatsoever, even if you were like a diehard Xbox guy versus,
Wait
a
a minute. Wait a minute. You
PlayStation
said
guy.
what was $700? I know PS Pro is seven. What? It's
It's
700, right?
700. Yeah, it's 700,
And
but the 2 terabyte Xbox Series X.
the 2 terabyte one. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
Now
Okay,
the
yeah,
1 terabyte one is 600,
yeah,
up from 500, and the
yeah. The
digital
two
only
terabyte. Yeah,
one
yeah. That's
terabyte.
still like that doesn't even make it. Yeah, like I said, that don't even make any sense. If you're
No,
going to look at
it really
that,
does.
yeah, it's going to be like there's a console that's actually more powerful. What are you doing?
Yeah. Yeah, and now, when we are talking about $730, you are getting to, you know, in the ideal world where you can actually find PC components at the price that they're supposed to be, being able to build something that might be comparable. At that point, you can spend about $500 between the processor and the motherboard, another $100 for the RAM, $50 for a power supply, and then like 250 if you could get like the Intel card or something like that. You're still over that, but you might be getting a better experience overall. But even
Yeah,
then, it's too high for anybody to really just throw the money at like that. Hobbies can be expensive, but video games as a hobby is just becoming more and more expensive. And I I don't want to just like look at indie developers and be like they're going to be our only saviors, but at this point it kind of feels that way. Like AAA is consolidating and basically going out of business. And the only option that we're going to be left with for affordable games that aren't demanding of next generation hardware may come out of those smaller
and eighty
development
dollars,
studios.
$80 games.
And yeah, an $80 game. Um, and at least with, indie games, there's usually a higher level of price flexibility for stuff too. Um, and that's why it's just so frustrating to me to not have these companies realize these same things. Like, you can have a division that's not working on the highest technology stuff. You can have somebody, just a small incubator of a couple of people making a small indie project that, okay, might not make $10 trillion, but it doesn't need to be profitable, right?
Yeah,
And that's a game development community that I would like to see, is one where everybody kind of realizes that we don't have to be the best looking game in the world. There are places for that. Like at the time of like a Gears of War, like obviously you have Microsoft as people as a company who is trying to sell a console that wasn't really at the top of, the charts, right? Because they're coming off of the original Xbox, which did okay but didn't blow anybody away, and they came in with the 360 and they're like, look, we can do this. But also they did Xbox Live Arcade, which was much smaller projects at a much more reasonable price, and they succeeded as because of that, because they had all those options. And now we're just at this point where we're only catering to the most expensive and the the most privileged of people, and video games are no longer for everyone. And obviously with Xbox, there's I think an $80 game for Xbox is a lot easier for me to swallow than an $80 Nintendo game, for obvious reasons. Nintendo games don't go down in price. Xbox games do. They have
do exactly.
sales. There's also Game Pass, but it does make me concerned about what that Game Pass price will be. Yeah, and so I'm just counting down the days at this point to see Sony, you know, raise their prices. Honestly, at this point, part of the reason why I wanted to get in on the Switch 2 pre-order is because I think this might be the cheapest that the Switch 2 is. I would not be surprised in the next year if the price of this system goes up. And I don't mean, oh, hey, we've got an OLED version now, because obviously they'll do that. But in the same way that they did with the Switch, they brought out that thing and they raised the price with the OLED, and then they just continued to have the same price for the Switch, never dropping that, never making it discounted outside of like occasionally bundling in a game. And it's really crazy to me that this is, we might be living through the second kind of bubble bursting of video games before like most of the people that saw the original one happen are even dead. You know what I mean? Like, we're making the same mistakes already so quickly.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know like people used to say like I remember like even some years back they say, "Hey, video games is an expensive hobby," and all in all, it really wasn't compared to some hobbies. There's a like yeah, if you try to buy every game or something, yes, it's very expensive. Like, but
Yeah.
the expensive is like the real expensive stuff, like where you said, "Hey, people be priced out," is like the PCs. That was the PC area.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that was that, and like video games wasn't meant to be that. Um, Now, like if you make it so that like, man, it's a lot of people just start playing it. It just makes it a different thing. It makes it different. Like it just changes things of what video games are. And I don't know like where the road is. Maybe is it that there's enough people out there for these games that they can pay this price? Like this price is a lot, but they can afford it. And the people who were just kind of on the cusp, like with that, like really like, whoa, this just way too much. Like, hey, this ain't for you no more now. This ain't for you.
I think
Like
it's gonna
this,
be, this is gonna be the year
and
that
it's
that
kind of
gets
and it's
tested,
kind
right?
of like it's like that almost with like I said, a lot of things. Like look at sports. Like, well, it's been like that for years as far as going to games. But people like
Mhm.
they'll work. I mean, people die hard. They will either save money or they just invest. They do a lot of stuff because they want to go see that game, and they don't go down. I mean, sometimes they might go down to see like during the season or something like because the team sucks. They got to just get some sales or something. But so I was thinking, like especially football, like they just sell out. They already sold out. Like people buy them like beginning of the year, and then people might sell them for cheap because they got to get rid of them. Um, but yeah, but like TVs, like used to be able to just like okay, fine, it's a little too expensive to go out. I'm gonna watch on TV, but they're making it so that you can't just watch it. Like either you have to have cable or you got to buy this package or something, or some games gonna be on Apple, some games gonna be Netflix or Amazon, whatever.
If you're a
These
true
games will be
fan, you
on.
got to have 7 different services to watch all their games.
Yeah, and it's like then people's like, I can't just afford that. And it's turned out to be. It's like, look, this ain't for you either. This ain't for you. But you know what? You don't need to watch games. All you need to do is just you don't need to watch games to bet on them, though.
That's true.
You can just do this and like we'll show you like the little digital guy moving up and down the field like a little dot, and you can just follow that
And be
and
mad at
see
him.
how they doing. It's like man,
So video game
it's
betting is what you're saying now.
it's just yeah. I think it's coming to fruition. Like, look, man, like the things are changing, and I just want to know like where people are going to be at. I think some people are going to realize like, wow, I wasn't middle class. Like this is like I have delusioned myself to knowing what the hell middle class is now anyway. I mean, not really just, but it's just the way the market and the ways. society's built. Like, I mean, it's not supposed to be this way. It's not supposed to be this way. But thing is, we ain't fight hard enough to fight against it. It ain't supposed to be just like 10 trillionaires and something that hold all the wealth. Like, it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be, we supposed to hold more wealth than any of the richest people. Like, the people should have more wealth, more money than.
How does that even make any sense?
No person or like persons, like just a few of them, should have more money than everybody else in the world together. Put together. That doesn't make any sense. That don't happen. That's not supposed to happen that way.
How does it benefit society? How does it even benefit them?
And people still, still under that mindset of like, hey, I'm okay with that. Hey, would you do this? It's like, how would I even get in that situation that they get in, that they got to get to be in that situation?
Yeah.
Like the things, like what? Tell me exactly what they did.
Well, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps, though.
That's what I say. Tell me exactly what they did. Like exactly what they did. Because I'm telling you, some things I probably wouldn't have done. To get to become that rich. I probably still be rich, but I probably wouldn't do some things they done to get to that point. Because you don't know what exactly they done.
So you wouldn't have flown on the Epstein jet, is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's a lot of things those people did.
It was a networking thing. That's all.
That screwed other people over. Like some things, like some people, like even if I knew, like, oh, I screwed this guy over, I get more money. I probably just wouldn't do it though. It's like, oh yeah, I mean, it's like do it. Like it's probably something that didn't have to be done. Like, yeah. And I mean, yeah. And the things they do, like they do stuff to hurt you. Like you don't even like some people don't even realize. Like that's the reason why it's only like so many certain companies or things of that nature. Or like, oh, why these like, or like the housing, like people who just be buying up houses and stuff, and like so they make people just rent or whatever. Either they mark it up or they make you rent. They don't want to sell it to you, even if you afford to buy it. Like those people, those are evil people. I mean, there's nothing good about that. You can't just say like, oh, but they just want to make money. That's it. Well, they're okay. Still evil though.
They're making the money off the back of you.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dominic. Video games? you want to talk about maybe more fun video games now?
All right. Yeah, that's right. You skipped to the bad stuff. Okay. Yeah.
Speaking of Microsoft, Gears of War is coming out to the PS5. Reloaded remaster.
PlayStation guys. Yep.
As well as the Xbox and the PC.
For how long? Since PS3? I've been seeing rumors of Gears of War is coming to PS3. I saw some rumors
back when Epic still owned them and could have potentially done that. Yeah.
And so now it's official, and it's the one we already had, but it's a remaster, basically.
Remastered? Yeah. This is Last of Us 2 levels of remaster.
Yeah, I mean, you get all the bells and whistles if you have those bells and whistles. Like my friend said, it's like, oh, this is all stuff like TV can't do, so it doesn't matter. It's
4K and 120.
Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, I got 4K, but it's a cheap ass 4K. I'm not going to see none of that shit. He's like, oh, so I already have this game. He said, so it's not a big deal. And then because that's what everybody, and that's what my friend was saying, like, man, I thought it was going to be all three, and I said I did too, and I thought it was going to be like they was going to upgrade 2 and 3 for us, like make them. I ain't gonna say I don't know if there's going to be like what they did with 1, but at least like something. But it's just giving 1 away. I was like, oh, this ain't. I mean, it's like yes, good for that. More people can play the game, but it's like it's not what I thought. I thought it was going to be a trilogy, like he was going to put out there.
They're going to sell them individually.
Yeah, and that's what I'm afraid. Or they probably do the other ones too, but I'll probably be disappointed in the upgrade. That's what I'm saying. If they're going to do 2 and 3, put them. I'm sorry. I want it to be what they did with 1. I want that shit.
Absolutely.
Especially since y'all ain't gonna
Now,
continue the fucking story. Like you just leave a
yeah,
freaking cliffhanger on and you're gonna go back to the past.
where there's
Like
no
my friend said,
chainsaw
it's
guns.
like years. He's
This
saying it
is a
should
series
that
built
game.
on chainsaw
It was like
guns.
this is the game that probably should have came out instead of 4 then if he was gonna do this. Like
Yeah.
this should have been it. Like why would you start this story off and do it? Like was it really that many people who really didn't like it? I mean, I seen people like really like, oh, I don't like playing as Kate and blah blah blah. But I mean, I don't know how many voices are there. It's the internet. It's not a real place, so I don't fucking
Yeah.
know like how that is. And it's kind of hard to go by sales because overall the console didn't sell a lot, so you weren't going to sell definitely nowhere near what the other games sold.
All right. Now, along with this, it's going to be $40 coming out August 26th. Anyone that owns the digital version of the Ultimate Edition already will get Reloaded free. I'm pretty sure I don't own that because it was just like, oh, I'll play that on Game Pass or something. I want to say at the time. Um, so yeah, it'll be on Game Pass, I'm sure. So if I want to play Gears again, I'll just play it there. While we were away, there was also a Borderlands 4 PlayStation Direct. I know we both watched it. You are far more experienced to know what the differences in this new one are. It looked good. It looked like it should be a lot of fun. What did you think, Dominic?
Oh damn, Daniel, I didn't watch it.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah, I remember you telling me, and I knew it was
I thought you
something. I was
said you
like,
did.
it's
Sorry.
something. It said something video game that happened, and for some reason, what was that? I was thinking it was I forgot what it was. It was what else came out? Something else happened, but it was like a game I didn't really care that much about. So I was like, I mean, it's not. So yeah, I don't really care about that. So yeah, I don't know. All right, right now I'm seeing like, okay, this is somebody else's video. This is not the official one
If
I'm looking at
you
now.
aren't seeing Randy Pitchford, you're not seeing the official thing. Yeah, I mean it obviously looks better. They've got new characters for each of the classes and as such they talked about the new things that each of the new classes or the not new classes but the new characters could do.
Well, this is like a 20-minute damn
Um
thing. Yeah, I have to watch this later.
yeah. I didn't see anything that stuck out to me as like, oh, if I wasn't a Borderlands guy before, I'm going to be a Borderlands
I mean,
guy now.
animation definitely
But
looks better. I can say
yeah,
that. Like animation
absolutely.
wise, like the look of it looks like Borderlands, but but the way the movement in the animation is, I can definitely see the
Yeah,
difference. Like
fidelity
like
is
the grass and the grass and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah.
mhm.
Because Borderlands 3, you
Yeah.
did leave that planet, so they have done that
Okay.
where we don't be there anymore, but it definitely looks better now. Like seeing him like glide on like the snow area or something. Oh, look at this! You got like a Destiny kind of bike thing going on here.
Yeah. Forgot about the Destiny.
Like from a distance, it looks like, oh, this is normal Borderlands. Like say, oh, it's just with snow, and but then when you actually see how the movement is, like look at the flow of the back. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you see like, okay, you see and that's what I was saying with the graphics. I say like with graphics is like it's not just how we was like, oh, the upgrade from PlayStation to PlayStation 2 and like, oh, how it looks better, or PlayStation 2 to 360 and PlayStation 3. It's like these games look very similar to older games. But it's like they implement like these little things that make it just look better. Like say, oh, it looks a lot like either smoother or like more lively or something like that.
Mhm.
Stuff with the lighting and stuff like that. Like that's cool. Um, with that, and like that's what I really see with this because like yeah, I don't know how much like unless you change the your kind of art style with the game, I don't know how much better you can do, but I see what they did, yeah, as far as visuals.
Yeah, looks real good.
Yeah, I have to look to see like what kind of gameplay changes they made with it though.
All right, Dominic. Then the last story I got here, which is appropriately a headline story as well. Grand Theft Auto has been given a date officially. It has been delayed out of 2025. It is going to be releasing May 26th, 2026. And shortly after that press release came out,
So
I think
basically a
like the
year.
next day or two. Yeah.
So when we saw our first
We got a
trailer,
new
it
trailer.
was what the game was 3 years away or four
Was
years
that
away.
long
When
ago?
that first trailer come out? Huh?
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it wasn't last year. We saw that trailer. It had to be 2023 then. Last year was 2024. It was like because remember I was like, oh man, we gotta wait 2 years.
Yeah.
2025? Yeah, 2023. So 3 years.
That's
So
crazy.
3 years.
That is crazy.
About 3 years because it came out like what month? Like the end of the year of
I was going to
2023.
say probably the end of the year, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, they released a new trailer shortly after they made this announcement. Kind of showing the same general idea of things. You know, it's showing this couple going through, it's showing kind of the people they're going to be interacting with.
I mean, it looks
It all
good.
looks very good. It does.
And like yeah, I mean, like it looks really like they really made the physics and stuff like that girl, like her ass was just shaking and moves and everything. The way she was dancing and stuff, I was like,
Yes,
darn.
they got the Tecmo Tech.
Yeah, and
The
then we ain't
Ninja,
talking about
not
no
Ninja Gaiden.
those Japanese type of physics where they just make them go all over the place. Like it's like real, like it looked like it's real type of movement.
Yeah. Somebody's been studying, is what you're saying, Dominic.
That's right. It's like it's science. Yeah. I'm hiding in this locker room for science.
Not in the locker. I guess they got to spend a couple more days in the lockers, and that's why they got to delay this game. But yeah, I mean, so here's the thing, right? Like right now, I got a PS5. I'm not going to get an Xbox. They've made that more clear to me this week than ever. PC still going to be a ways off from the launch of this. Like, where are we going to be at?
How long was it for 5?
That's a good question. Version? GTA 5. How long between? Let's see. September 2013 for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and in November 2014 was PS4, PS4 and Xbox One, and April 2015 for Windows.
Still didn't come out for the PC. It came out on those.
So about a year and a half.
Yeah. So maybe a year and a half, or if we're lucky, sooner.
See, because I was thinking a year, and that would have felt like a long time. But yeah, if they follow through with that kind of timeline, maybe this delay shortens, the distance between the console version and the PC version. But I have my doubts that would be the case.
I just don't understand.
What do you
think? I don't understand why it's like they're not the console manufacturers, so I don't know why they care.
I wonder if part of it is just that they are coming in so hot to finish this game that they're like, okay, we're going to devote the resources to getting these console versions out because that's what's going to sell the most. And then once we're done with those, we'll get the PC version out when we can.
Okay. I mean, yeah, maybe.
At this point, why would you devote any resources to the Xbox version over a PC version? I'm not totally sure, to be honest with you. There's probably numbers that bear that out, but to me, it really feels like maybe I don't waste my time with an Xbox version. They're multi-platforming their stuff. Oh no, Dominic! You're gonna get the you're gonna get Grand Theft Auto 6 on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox, and then a year later you're gonna get it on the Switch too, and then 6 months after that, then you'll get it on the PC. Yeah, that's disappointing.
And you only can play with the 50 series or something.
Oh, jeez, yeah. That's gonna be the real question, because I remember trying to play Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, I mean, another question is with games in general, like, because everything's costing so much. What the optimization of games for the PC, is it going to be to a point where they don't really take full advantage of those latest cards, or they do and it's all cut off like it really, like they really take advantage, like they really put more resources on the latest cards, and they really screw people if they got the other card. Like they can run it, but it's definitely not running as well like before. Like I wonder like how that works. How would that work?
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting to see how that shakes out. Because I mean, the crazy thing,
or everything's happening to stay the same. Which I mean, I would like rather have that, but
yeah.
But I mean, right I'm now, just thinking, like,
if you see the cards with the most power, like the latest gen cards, you see them with the technology that allows you to like up-res games and play at a lower resolution and stuff like that, which is what you would really need out of a lower price card. Give me the fake frames and the fake resolution versus, having to spend $10,000 and still get fake frames and fake resolution, just to pump it up to 8K or whatever. I want to go from 4K to 8K. Meanwhile, I'm over here and I'm like, I'll take 720p up res to 1080, please. Can you just release a lower price?
I just wanted to run, like, either run consistent, Yeah,
exactly. Just give me a card that will let me play this game at 60 FPS consistently. Yeah, I mean, so now we've got some time to see how things are going to shake out. I think Grand Theft Auto is not going to be an $80 game, Dominic.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think it's going to be more.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
I was about to say. I was like, they're going to be 60.
they're going to undercut them. Yeah. No, I fully believe now, especially with Microsoft coming out and just saying like this is the new standard now. That was implied with the Nintendo release. They're going to be like, but look, now,
man, like that whole Nintendo thing. Say, look, they're a joke. Like that game is, if that game's worth $80. Our game is worth $500, but we're selling it for $150.
I don't know if we quite get to $150, but I would.
But $100.
I would not at all be shocked at $100. No, absolutely.
Yeah. I'll say.
To be honest with you, like I think they are going to basically say that they're going to be like, look, like these games are $80. Our game is clearly better than all of these games. I think that is the exact reasoning they're going to say. They're going to say, the resources prove, that this game was worth making and is worth paying this money for. And I am not ready for a world where even a game as big as Grand Theft Auto 6 is setting the price point at $100, because that then opens those floodgates again.
And Assassin's Creed's like, well, we gotta do something. We gotta do something.
So you say that, but I'm thinking Nintendo obviously goes, well, the Mario can sell for $100, so why
I don't
would
know.
we?
Zack Zelda is definitely going to be 100.
Exactly. Here's this Donkey Kong game at $90. You can have that
What was
trash.
it? What
But
was the last Zelda game called?
the last Zelda game, Tears of the Kingdom.
Tears of the Kingdom.
But yeah, I mean they're selling you Breath of the Wild again for $80. So I have no doubts that if someone else raised the prices of video games again, that they would not happily take that opportunity to show you that they are selling a premium product. All right, Dominic, that is the news I had for these past couple of weeks. Anything else before we roll into new releases?
Nah, man, I'm good.
All right. New releases, Dominic. We got Forza 5 that's now out on the PlayStation 5. Finally. So we're
PlayStation
getting to
5,
the
get
point.
it. And I heard it's been pretty well up there.
Yeah. Which, like, good for them. This is what they wanted. Killing our American systems.
Yeah, because they yeah. Well, the PlayStation ain't putting on freaking games also. There you go. Microsoft is helping them out.
That's true, yeah. All right. Also, we got Fragpunk now out on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. That is that 5-on-5 shooter that's been out for the PC for a little bit now.
Okay.
We also have Skin Deep, a game that I've been hearing a lot of people talk about because this is a game from the same developer that did
Death
30
Stranding.
Flights
That's
of
what it was,
Loving.
Daniel. I was thinking when I saw
Oh, yeah.
a game to
Because
look
there's
at, I
been a
saw
lot
Death
of
Stranding.
previews for that.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I ain't looking up none of this, so I don't care.
Yeah.
But Skin Deep, yeah. What is that about?
I'm not sure you're gonna like this one, Dominic. Apparently, you're like a person on a spaceship trying to protect cats from weird guys that are trying to take the cats or something. But this is the developer of 30 Flights of Loving and Quadrilateral Cowboy.
It's an Annapurna game
Quadrilateral
too, and published game.
It's published by them. So I've definitely
Yeah,
been
they
hearing
seem
a
like
lot of talk around it. This is the first time actually seeing
they
it.
seem like cat people.
There's definitely a cat in the Annapurna office. That's all I'm saying. Next up, Despelote. That is out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox Series X and S. I heard some people talk about this game too. It has a really interesting look to it. And it seems to be like a story of a younger kid growing up in maybe a different country because they seem to be focused on soccer, which obviously is like very anti-American. Dominic.
This is not on Steam, or did I spell it so wrong that it couldn't find it?
I believe it's on Steam. Yeah.
Why the hell? It should have been able to deduce.
But it has this very.
This seems like a very dark thing. What's the soccer thing? What's the soccer part of this?
Oh, because like it's just immediately adults cursing at you. Is that why you say that?
No,
or is it just the visuals make it look dark?
Survival action adventure. Hold on. What's it called again? Oh, I'm looking at Desolate.
Despelote. Okay, Despelote.
See, that's what I did. Despoelote. PE. Well,
it is a
come
slice
on.
Of life
I
adventure.
Put one letter wrong, and Steam cannot get what I was trying to say.
It's like this guy wouldn't be interested in Spanish games.
Desperate play. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I don't see it.
Okay.
Yeah, Despelote. Yeah, it does look
but
like
it has
like
this very like
Adult Swim show,
look to it.
Like an Adult Swim show or something like that.
Yeah, with like these cut out like black and white characters. I've heard really positive things about it. It seems kind of cool. From the publisher who brought you Firewatch and Untitled Goose Game.
Ecuador.
All right. Next up, we got Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. That's down on the PS5. Another Microsoft product. High on
Okay, it's
Life.
about to say it's like this released already. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so PS5. Yeah.
High on Life on the Nintendo Switch. The Midnight Walk is now out on the PC and PS5. That's that claymation looking game with like
Oh
freaky
yeah.
Tim Burton looking characters. The couple of reviews I've seen on it so far are like okay, like they're high eights.
So is it
Mid to
like
high.
also like that Halliburton game, whatever it was, that
Yeah,
claymation
it
game
does
that
look a
was
lot
okay?
like Harold Halibut. Yeah.
Halliburton, yeah. I said Halliburton. Halliburton.
Halliburton, yeah. Sort of
Yeah,
Dick Cheney's in there. Just trying to
yeah.
sell you oil. All right, and then we have Revenge of the Savage Planet now out on the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox
It's
X,
been the
and
wrong
Series.
name. I'm getting Midnight Walkers, a scary game. What was it called again?
The Midnight Walk.
Okay. All right, now I'm seeing it. Oh, okay. Yes, yes. Oh, yes. Jesus Christ. Yeah,
Creepy.
these are definitely. Yeah, it's definitely Tim Burton esque.
I'm not sure I knew what the actual gameplay of this is. Seeing this trailer here on Steam where there's like a first person shooting.
Wait a minute, I don't like how that thing just kind of just yells at you and kind of moves to your face here. Like, look, are you on Steam page?
Yeah.
Yeah, go down. Go down to that video.
Oh, I don't want to do that. Oh yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, that's too much. Yeah, but that
said
looks
fun
cool.
horror
Oh yeah, and I
adventure
forgot
game.
that does have a VR
Oh,
part
so
too.
that's part of the VR
It's a VR
thing,
game.
and just make you shit your pants.
Yeah, pretty much. Got play
Yep,
it.
got play
Play it on the
while I'm on the
toilet.
toilet. Yep.
The full
But yep, if
4D
you want to,
experience.
I'm gonna cleansing. I'll play the game on the toilet.
There you go. But yeah, those are the games from these past 2 weeks. Like I said earlier, we got Doom coming up next week, so that's pretty big. Yeah, and we're getting close, Dominic. We're not far away from the Nintendo Switch 2 release, and then we're at that same time, I guess, actually, we're gonna be at like Summer Games Fest time. I mean, we're not gonna be there, but it's going to be that time.
I'll get us
Somebody
there
wants to
somehow.
sponsor us to go. Unless fandom wants to pick us up, we're brand safe, right, Dominic?
Yeah.
They can pay for our tickets to go. Yeah,
Man, hold up, like, what's going on? Trump supposed to be doing something with the air traffic controllers. It's he's doing something like it's supposedly like he's changing things up, or
is he gonna run them now?
Money, yeah, but he's doing. I forgot what he said. Like, basically going to cost money. What's he doing? Which is I find pretty funny.
I thought we were saving money, Dominic. What happened?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's what I told my dad. I said, "Well, all those people we laid off and stuff. Did it. We got enough money. We can do that now, right? Maybe that's what it is. Did we get close to that trillion? That Doge said.
I'm sure. Yeah, we're right there, right on the cusp of it, Dominic. Right there.
It's like there.
We're gonna buy the best air traffic controllers from around the world. Russia has the best air traffic controllers.
We want to save money by going at the cheapest places in the government. that we spend money.
Yep. Yeah. All right, Dominic. Anything else for the people this week?
No. Well, I mean, there is like, yeah, I know a lot of people have things on Death Stranding too. I mean, like, I'm excited for people who like the game. Like, I wish I did still like that stuff. Like, I kind of still want to go back to play it, like what I did. I mean, I kind of want to play the new one, and wish I can just like put that save I played from that one to that one.
Yeah.
But
That's not like still on Xbox Game Pass, or that was never on Game Pass, was it?
nah,
Or was it?
yeah, that was never on Game Pass. It was never.
Yeah.
Apparently, Xbox services has issues right now. It says right here, you might not see a game you're looking for in the store right now. Okay.
I see. I ain't got the same error.
But yeah, the director's cut. Yeah, when they got director's cut, and that's what I was hoping. When I was like, oh, this is going to be on Game Pass, and it wasn't. Oh well.
Just in time for Death Stranding 2 to come out, they'll put it up there, maybe.
They should, because they're not getting it, right?
That's a good question.
I forgot. I mean, I know they're going to get it eventually.
I was thinking they were.
Is it a Tom? Is it still a Tom thing?
Thinking Death Stranding 2 was coming.
I mean, it's up to him. I think it's up to him if it's Tom or not. I mean, because
he owns the property now.
Yeah. But I just don't see it. I'm just trying to think. I don't see it advertised.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure Sony's probably. I don't know why Sony even Sony is crazy if they're still paying people for anything. like honestly, I would not pay anybody for nothing. It's like, where are you gonna go?
Do you want to sell your games or not?
Yeah, I mean, you got Nintendo. I mean, unless it's Nintendo, but even then, it's not. You're not guaranteed to sell on Nintendo. Yeah. They're guaranteed to sell.
Then you're competing with them. Exactly. Where are you gonna go? The Xbox? I didn't think so. They're bringing their games to us. PC, that thing's too expensive. Switch,
exactly.
Gonna compete
like
against
to be
Mario?
only up there. To be only up there on the PC? Nah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I ain't paying nobody shit. I say y'all want to say, hey, I'll ask y'all want to come on our show? That's a no. I say, that's it. You come to us.
Yeah. All right, Dominic. With that, I think we'll get out of here. You can follow us on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Superpod, SUPAPOD. We're also on Blue Sky at superpod.com, at regulusmb.sky.social.
Yeah, I'm going to start using Blue Sky more.
I pretty much exclusively, if I'm just like jumping in to look at stuff, it's what I do, but I'm not finding myself using it or Xbox really, or Xbox. Twitter.
Because of the X.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not finding myself going to either of them much anymore, to be honest with you. Like, even on Blue Sky, it's mostly just I want to see what like Wario64 is posting as far as sales and whatnot go. And then once I've got it open, I'll check and see whatever. That's kind of been it. I mean, I spend way too much time on Reddit, probably more than anything.
Where do you go on Reddit, though?
It's mostly wrestling and video games.
Oh, okay.
That's basically it. And then whatever
young Republicans.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Well, wait a minute. You're not young Republicans anymore.
Yeah, now I just go to conservatives, Dominic.
You was at one point. You was. Yeah.
Yep, they kicked me out. Once I hit 33. Once they gave me the expedition number, I was out of there. All right. Yes. Website is superpod.com. You can check us out there as all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as audio versions on iTunes, YouTube Music, Spotify, Amazon, Audible, basically anywhere you can find an audio podcast. We will be there. And until next time, guys, see you later.
All right, see you.